Gbé nǹkan mi sẹ́nu wúyẹ́.
Bàtà ò ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ fún o. God abeg o. Ọ̀gá mi ẹ wò
Gbogbo ète mi ń ṣe tí gbogbo ẹ̀ táṣírí mi ń tún bí ìtàn mọ̀ pé òkè lè tún ti wà lójú ọpọ́n. I don't know how you do it. Tell me. Can you teach me?
Èmi ò lè teach mi o. Èmi àti èmi ò ṣe é ní.
Bóyá ọjọ́ tẹ́yìn náà bá pààrọ̀ aṣọ tẹ́ ń wọ̀ yẹn because everywhere you go MTN máa ń tan náà ni.
Okay.
Sísọmọládé ẹ ṣọ́ra yín bẹ̀ yẹn o. Sísọmọládé ẹ ṣọ́ra yín bẹ̀ yẹn o. Ẹ má jẹ́ mú yín sọ̀rọ̀.
Mo ní láti wà covert. Ta ló tún jẹ́ àbàtẹ̀?
Àbàtẹ̀ ìyá ọkọ mi nìyẹn. Àbàtẹ̀ Queen M ni. Àbàtẹ̀. Bí gbogbo yín ṣe ń wọlé yẹn mo rí yín gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí mo ṣe ẹ̀sì tẹ̀ ń wọlé yẹn mo rí yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń rọ́ wọlé o. Àbàtẹ̀ that's the latest.
Ó yá o ọ̀gá mi o ṣe máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ bùtẹ̀ kí contribute jẹ́ kí tó máa jáde màá tún join again mo tún rò bí 4 o'clock ni.
Irọ́ ibo lẹ́ ń jáde lọ ẹ̀yin lẹ sọ fún wa pé wà ní for this week o.
2 o'clock la fi pàdé sí ẹ̀yin lẹ wá ní 2:30. Ẹ
bèrè lọ́wọ́ host mo sọ fún host pé mo ti ready láti 6 o'clock our time.
Kí ni mo sọ fún ọ mo ní sátẹ́mì àmú ni mo wà available títí di láìpẹ́ títí di 4 lé ní.
Sister Temi ló mú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ táwọn fẹ́ tọ́ bọ̀ lé ní because I told her pé tí bá ti jí 6 o'clock láàárọ̀ 4 o'clock ni máa ń jẹ́ ọ̀nà normal day ní pé 6 o'clock láàárọ̀ ẹ̀bọ̀ Sister Temi fẹ́ wọ́n fẹ́ sùn kọjọ́ wọ́n ní nǹkan tó ń ṣe nìkan nípa níbi tó ń lọ. Ibo ló ń lọ láàrin òru ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ sí pàdé ẹgbẹ́ ni.
Ẹ má sọ pé ẹ má fojú tí wọ́n o.
Wọlé ẹjọ́ kò 502 counting oya power tab ẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n.
We actually have a lot to talk about.
Exactly 5 hours àti ìparí gbogbo nǹkan tá a fẹ́ sọ lé ní so we have to be well prepared, you know.
We have that criminals video. I want to analyze it mo mọ̀ pé àwọn èèyàn ti look at it wọ́n ti gbọ́ wọ́n ti analyze wọ́n ti fún response ẹ̀ but mi ò tí ì ní chance láti ṣe das ọmọ tẹ̀wọ̀n de immunizer yẹn mo fẹ́ ká wo video yẹn ká fún ní 1 or 2 response lé lórí àwọn wèrè oní ọ̀dà wèrè tó ń wá kiri ilẹ̀ mandamus that one is there. The DNA briefing of yesterday, even that one is just very fast lánàá ọkọ̀ date of adjournment. You know your people, they were there to bring in another motion, another application. That's what they want to bring the next sitting by. So even the next sitting, it will still be the court listening to their new motion, their new application. That boy.
And Mr. Pata ó dẹ̀ máa ní àwọn ò delay DNA yẹn.
Àtẹ̀lé ó dẹ̀ kọ́ sára kínní o.
Ẹ dẹ̀ máa ní wọn ò delay.
Defamation ni o pé ò delay DNA.
Ẹ dẹ̀ máa ní defamation ni and you people you keep bringing application day in day out to delay the course of the application. Ojúmọ́ lẹ́ ń gbé nínú you are saying that I don't understand what is defamatory about it. It's a statement of fact. Ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń change lawyer ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń mú adjournment every time new application.
Where ni wọ́n because yesterday the judge was ready to move on pé why are they asking to do their private DNA because it's a new judge so he's still trying to study the case doing some Q&A with the lawyers what happened here was another granted. He said even 2 others or even 3 others have been granted on this issue already. But these people keep coming back for more. Oliver Twist, they keep wanting more. So the judge was now wondering, so what are we? Kí ni mo kàn Oliver vibe so Oliver Twist mo pe o.
Ẹ má forúkọ mọ́ mi tèmi define wọn please. Don't go there please.
Oliver.
Ó retí kọ́mẹ̀ntì wọn. Àbí tó bá ti lọ wọ́n jẹ́ wà ń bí látàárọ̀, but I think she should be there. Oh yeah, má sọ̀rọ̀ ní lọ́wọ́.
So they always wanting more. So the judge was wondering, could you kill Etufe this time around? Because the judge told them clearly that they cannot ask for a DNA and ask the court not to participate in it. That that's not obtainable anywhere, and that will not be done. So he said he wants to bring in another motion. That he wants to bring in another motion, and the judge was now asking that what is the purpose of that motion? That once you bring in this motion, these people will have a chance to respond to it. So that means there will be some back and forth on that one again. He's saying no, he just wants to address the issue. That's which issue? The issue you're talking about is the issue of you want your own private DNA without the court monitoring it or participating in it, which is a non-starter. It's a no-go area. Whatever the court wants to order, the court has to participate. Number one, the court has to have the right first. The court cannot ask somebody to surrender their right. The court is just not, it's not a military dictator that just asks you something. Whatever the court is asking, it is what the laws, the constitution has granted the judge, has granted the court the powers to ask or to take away from somebody. So if the court now wants to take anything away, the court still has to participate and supervise that process. That this new process or this new motion you say you want to bring now, if you bring it, it will only generate another back and forth, which will continue to delay this. And our lawyer was quick to jump into that. That is what they have been doing. All they have been doing is delaying this process. It is on record. So if anybody is now complaining or bringing any frivolous lawsuits that somebody said they are delaying DNA, that is on record. It's a court record. It was there. It was stated in that record that these people, and that's the applicant, which is Joseph Aloba, is delaying this DNA test through his counsel by bringing different applications, different motions, different requests to vary judgment on this DNA test. And of course, the judge allowed them that go and submit your motion, bring in your motion. How soon can you bring it? Okay, bring it. Let's meet on the 14th and let's look at your motion. So what you'll be expecting on the 14th is to see whatever motion. Of course, they will submit it before that time. They will file it before that time. We will get a chance to have a look at it. But then, if they raise a new issue, aside from all the issues that have been raised, if they raise a new issue from that petition or from that application or motion, then among me and our counsel will be entitled to respond, to counter whatever issue they have raised there also. It is a rule of the court. It is a rule of law. So most likely, knowing them for who they are, with the antecedents, we know clearly they will raise a new issue. One or two new issues in it, because that is their purpose. Their purpose is to continue to delay this thing. Don't forget, DNA has been, the DNA order itself, the consent judgment, has been granted since 2024, if I'm right. But we're in 2026, and at every time, Joseph Aloba and his counsel keeps coming back, keeps going back to the court, asking for a variation of that judgment, asking for additional leave, additional allowance to what the law has already accommodated. So the case was adjourned till 14th of this month now. I will be there. We'll see what will happen there. So that's for the DNA, whatever. I don't know if that's clear to us, or if we want to discuss that, or there's any question regarding that. Bene?
Ogami, this is what I'm going to say. When I heard that Josie filed a petition, they said is the one delaying the case. Number one, there's nothing defamatory about that. There's a statement of fact, and even the court can stand as witness to that fact, that all other frivolous application has been put in by Joseph Aloba's lawyer, and there been instances of whereby he has changed not one, not twice, several lawyers just for this DNA case alone. So it's a known fact. So if they are saying they are filing a petition that defamation that is delaying the DNA, it's laughable, to be honest. And I even when I came on the platform this morning, I'm like, what kind of a lawyer will even file such a case in the first place? I don't understand. Is it about money or what? Is it that they are jobless? They don't have any other thing to file again? That they now feel that you putting in a statement of fact that somebody has said, even the blind can see that this is an intentional act by Joseph Aloba to buy more time for himself, because there's no more card to play for J4M, and that is a money-making scheme. And the only card they have is this DNA. And once it's out of their hands, they cannot make any money on J4M again. So it's a known fact. So if you are saying you are suing Wunmi that she said you've been purposely delaying this DNA, it's laughable. Honestly, it's laughable and it's frivolous and it's a waste of the judiciary system. Yeah, that's what I would just say about the DNA.
Exactly. That's whether we like it or not, that is what Joseph Aloba has been distort facts or narratives here, because that's what they're trying to do. A DNA consent judgment has been granted. They've told you what to do and how to go about it. You came back saying something happened. Your lawyer did not ask for more from the court. Another lawyer came in, asked for more. The court, in his judgment, considered to some of the things. Even the other party also considered to some of the things, not because they have to, but just because they want this thing gone. They just want this thing moving. Let's just do this thing and just get out of this mess.
And Ogami,
it's because,
Ogami, don't forget that Joseph Aloba granted an interview where he categorically said he was the one delaying the DNA. There are record for that.
Exactly.
There is a video for that. There's an interview that Joseph Aloba said with his own mouth, not under coercion. No, he wasn't forced, wasn't pointed the gun at. He said that he is the one delaying the DNA. So what are you filing a suit about that for? I don't get.
When we come to that suit is so laughable. It's, even my even my name came out in that suit. I just got a copy of the document and I'll not even be able to. I've not even been able to go through it.
Aláìní tẹ́ máa sọ gbèsè yìí àpọ̀.
I've not even been able to go through everything, but ibẹ̀ lójú mi kàn lọ́gbà tí mo rí tọ́dẹ̀ kan Mr. Pythagoras ká kí ni Mr. Pythagoras wá nínú lawsuit àwọn ará bíyì kẹ́ ẹ̀ kí ni mo ṣe ta ni mo ṣe. But they are crazy. We will come into that. Èrè ni wọ́n lọ kọ́ọ̀tì ọ̀rọ̀ tọmọ yẹn ń sọ nìyẹn bẹ̀rù pé yẹn ló máa ń pe Mr. Pythagoras. Anyway, that one is just laughable, but that's how the world works. You can bring any stupid suit to the court. Fearless ni say Karo. You can bring anything stupid to the court, but eventually time will tell. And one thing people need to know is that that before we get there eventually, that this lawsuit they filed, apart from the defects you can already see on the surface of it, the length these people are going through to do this thing, the pains they are taking to do some of these things just to show off. That is what is disturbing in all these things. As per the rule of the courts, the high courts and the schedule of filing fees. If you're asking for a claim of that much, it's not necessarily a percentage, but there's a way they schedule your filing fees. If you're asking for 300 million in damages, just like they've asked, I can tell you they have paid minimum of 1 million in filing fees to file these stupid charges. So if people have gone ahead, you call it ad valorem charges. So if people have gone ahead to pay this much to bring stupid suits, things that cannot stick, something that will eventually be thrown out, and you've rallied around, gather people's sweat, money, 1 million naira minimum nìyẹn. I don't have their current fee structure, but I know it is tied to the amount of money or damages you're requesting for. In fact, when we were filing the suit against him, we wanted to ask for so much more because we know we will get it, because we know we have him on all these charges, on all these claims. And when they broke down the fees to us, say, no, that's why we had to reduce the damages we are claiming to around 100 million. I'm sure 100 million gonna be 50 million gonna eventually reduce this.
But you are so far, that way, you just to go there.
I won't pay. What is the point? Because the point for us is not even the money we want to get. The point for us is to point out the fact that you have done something wrong. You have to pay for it one way or the other.
Yeah, nonsense. All the name calling and defamatory word that he said.
Yes, that's the point we were trying to claim. So, but then look at the point they are claiming now, because they don't have any points to make here. But look at the length they're going. Look at how much they have to cough out. I can tell you the fee could be as high as 5 million. But I'm telling you, once or rather, they would have paid the minimum of 1 million naira to file this lawsuit.
That this is how you know that it's either the lawyer does not know what he's doing, or they are just telling Josie that Baba, I'm not worry. By the time about cooking in the court, to buy the what to adájọ́ báyìí, he buy and magba, because Josie does not know.
They are doing it for their people, so that there is a resemblance of some fights still left in them.
I'm saying back, okay. Or shake Baba Bibulani, and they are purposely doing it to him. Because I don't,
because àwọn èèyàn ti ń pariwo kó sùn ó dẹ̀ believe pé àwọn èèyàn ti ń lọ lẹ́yìn pé so tó bá ṣe léyìí they will want to like bàbá náà ti ṣiṣẹ́ jẹ́ ká dúró padà jẹ́ ká kówó sílẹ̀, so it's all about that.
Yeah.
So that's even something that I find disturbing, that how bitter, how stupid, how daft, how empty can people be to be able to say, you know what, allocate 2 million that's no, just to prove to our people we are here, guys, just to know what's okay every day here we are working. How empty can people be? And it goes.
In fact, Ogami, I was saying that.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking that, considering all the evidence that their so-called Joseph Aloba had, I was thinking maybe he was going to sue Wunmi for unlawful killing of his son. That would got to be he got to be enduro day. But anyone celebrates money okay. Chauffeur move me for negligence. Chauffeur move for not doing a duty of care. But she man K lori TikTok. But lo and behold, but the Wabere but Wunmi called me. Wunmi say in Adura. Oh God, I don't want to remember nonsense talk because it's a slap on my face as a lawyer. Honestly, I'm embarrassed on their behalf. I'm embarrassed. It's the height of desperation for me. Honestly,
they are really desperate. Anything, they just want to show. I don't know. At that cost, number one, you're embarrassing yourself. Have we not even, I don't know more our WhatsApp group tí Ògúngbè belongs to, but I don't even think there's, yes, lawyer máa gbàṣẹ́ lóòótọ́, lawyer máa ṣiṣẹ́, but you can do better. You can, even tó bá tiẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe, you can look for some other things that are tangible. Lóòótọ́, we're running a very tight shift here, so kò really sí nǹkankan tẹ́ fẹ́ really mú àbí tẹ́ fẹ́ lò against your ọmọ, really no, but you can still be creative as a lawyer, just wanting to get your paycheck and things like that, than these stupid things you're putting up together. Ọmọ interview and now some of these things, so I don't know. Anyway, we will get there. Sister tèmi ẹ jẹ́ bá wa video immunizer yẹn, mo mọ̀ bóyá ẹ lè bá wa máa play díẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ti rí.
Number fún mi.
Ẹ bá wa ẹ̀ sí tòsí. Yeah. Because mo wo video yẹn, but mo ti wo one or two responses ní, mo ti rí one or two responses online náà, mo ti rí pé òkè ó dà pé àwọn èèyàn notice pé bọ̀bọ̀ yìí àgbo ẹ̀kú kan wọ́n respond sí dáadáa, but mo kọ̀ wọ́n pé no, èmi náà ní láti point one or two things out nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ wèrè tó kójọ sí level tó lóun ṣe video. Of course we can smell the fear all over him. Ó ti ń ṣe rí, ó ti ń ṣe tipẹ́, kò mọ̀ pé lè máa bù òun lọ́wọ́, ó rọ̀ bí òun máa ṣe òun máa mú jẹ náà ni bóun ṣe ti ń ṣe àwọn yòókù. Maybe because àwọn tó ń ránṣẹ́ ó ti fi hàn pé these people will support me now, these people go dey for me now, but now ti wá rí magnitude nǹkan tó kóra ẹ̀ sí, ó ti rí pé eléyìí ń ṣe wàsá, kò sí, at the end of the day it's all man for himself. Tó bá yìí jẹ́ pé kéèsì ó pè mí lórúkọ, mo pè ẹ́ lórúkọ, civil suit ṣì ni, it will still come online láti wá máa make àwọn ẹnu kan one way or the other, bóyá àwọn èèyàn ṣe donation fún. Okay ma, ẹ bá wa gbé sí ma.
Ó tó bí 5, so màá bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti tó kọ́kọ́ ṣe bó ṣe jáde.
Okay.
So I just got out of prison tonight, Kirikiri, Lagos, and I'm making this video from my guy's phone because my phone was taken away from me by the police at the station. They marked it as exhibit, and my business line is in that phone. I have to get a new phone. As you all know, I honored the police invitation on the 22nd of June, which was Monday. I got there, they showed me a petition that a prominent name in the Mohbad case that I've talked about. This person filed the petition. As I see the petition, I laugh. So they interrogated me, detained me that day because they said they are taking me to court. The next day, they took me to court. The judge sat, heard my case, and I was granted bail immediately. But the person that was supposed to undo my bail got greedy, made some mistakes, and Tuesday I was remanded at Kirikiri prison. Wednesday I was supposed to come out. And today my bail was perfect.
Hold on, ma. So you can even see that this guy is as corrupt as they come. For you to say you have offered them something and they wanted more. Because I know for a fact, anybody in no family immunizer tó jẹ́ tó lè ní 700,000 nínú àkáǹtì wọn tó jẹ́ owó wọn tó dẹ̀ ń san tax yẹ tó ní up to date LASTRA tó ní up to date LASTRA ṣe certificate na àbí receipt tó ní gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. I know you don't have that in your family. Tó bá dẹ̀ ní gbé bọ́ síta fi hàn wá, let us know, káwọn èèyàn lọ investigate ẹ̀ fún wa. That I know, and that's part of your bail condition, and that's part of the weakness in that system too. They buy shorties. They buy people that they will post the bail on for them. And that's where somebody getting greedy is coming from in this video tó ṣe yìí. Of course, wọ́n ti lọ ra ẹni tí wọ́n ti lọ sanwó fẹ́ni tó máa wá stand as shorty fún wọn níbẹ̀ yẹn. Of course, whoever is in charge of perfecting the bail, the administrator there, they would have looked at that. They would know, and that's why they demand for one or two from them. Of course, they want more depending on the profile, depending on who the person is. So ibi tí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ti jáde nìyẹn. So imagine somebody saying they want to do right, somebody calling them because òun náà ti sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀dá activist by. Once you have done something wrong, ànáwó òfin ti bá ilé lórí, and because you have 1 or 2 followers, you automatically turned an activist, right? That is the new definition for activism now. Just go and do something wrong, have 1 or 2 of your family members at your online just to support you. Then you are an activist. Then the government is wrong. Then the whole world is wrong. You are the only one who is right. Even the victim is wrong. In fact, you become the victim in that case. Imagine now, immunizer is now turning to be the victim of this case. He is now the widow. Òun ló kú ẹkú báyìí, immunizer ló kú ẹkú. Immunizer ni wọ́n bully for the past 3 years now. He's now the victim of this whole thing. Ẹ bá a play síwájú.
Hey, well, I see that a lot of things are going on online. A lot of things have been said, different rumors, different perspectives. But don't worry, I will address everything and set the record straight. And I actually have a fiction story that I would like to tell you guys. Don't worry. Let me rest. I will talk to you all tomorrow, and I actually appreciate every single person that supported. See, Nigerians, you all are fucked. Una go so far. The system is already made for you all to fail. I won't feel
Yes. Nǹkan tó kìtì ẹ̀ tó gbàgbé ó náà ò ní fictional story tó ń fẹ́ wá sọ fún wa. Come with your fiction. Come and say it. The law is clear. You don't need to mention somebody's name. Even characterization, depiction, insinuations, innuendo that any reasonable person can determine is able to say, oh, this thing is tied to this person. They are talking about this person. Then you will be liable, you will be responsible for all those fictions you want to come and talk about. Toro sọ pé you are coming out, bóyá wọ́n ti kọ́ ẹ lọ́gbọ́n pé don't worry, don't mention her name. Wàá sọ pé o kàn ń sọ fictional story ni, o kàn ń read the novel ni, o kàn ń sọ story kan tó kọ gbọ́nbì kan ni. Come out and come and say it.
Mr. Pythagoras ti ṣe yẹn fídíò ló play Samadebe.
Okay, no wahala. Ẹ continue ma.
Bó ṣe máa jẹ́ nìyẹn, ẹgbọ́ a máa kó àfi bí adìyẹ náà àgò.
Ẹ má láàjọ sàpéyìn. Gbogbo wọn máa jẹ́. Ẹ má láàjọ fún wọn jọ.
You're gonna get yourself in trouble, a very big trouble, like Kilimanjaro, Mountain Everest, Olumorok type shit kind of trouble. In which year you can be charged for cyber stalking and cyberbullying. You already have some case on your name that has to do with defamation of character. Trust me, don't worry. You will get that petition very soon. You get it from an individual and you get it from an organization itself. The video has already been sent to the right channel. I hope.
Ẹjọ́ nínú gbogbo kìíní ìsinyìí, what is the point of all this? Àbí kí ni point ìwèrè piano wèrè tó fi sísàlẹ̀ to make it look sorrowful, to make it look pitiable torí mo gbọ́ tí piano dún sálẹ̀.
Èmi ò gbọ́ piano yẹn o, ẹni lọ jẹjẹ kọ́lá tẹ́sán mi sí piano. Ó dàbí tó máa fẹ́ ṣe horror film gẹ́gẹ́. Tàpátá ìlàsàn.
What is the point of all that? To make it look like ẹ mọ àwọn story yẹn tó máa touch pé wọ́n dẹ̀ fi àjọmọ ìkúnlẹ̀ abiyamọ o nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. What is the meaning of these theatrics? Kí ló gbọ́ rubbish yìí? So whatever they are saying there, ṣé wọ́n sọ pé fẹ́ lọ abduct ẹni? Ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ kidnap ẹni? Ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe anything illegal fún ẹni? What they are saying is that they will follow the law. Àwọn tó bá ṣe ń kó evidence bá wà gbogbo wọn ló máa kó. Àwọn tọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ bá lè bà ọwọ́ ẹ̀ máa bà because yes, you guys have done something wrong, not just something wrong ethically or morally, criminally, something unlawful, something illegal, and you should face the law. So that is what they've said there. So what is the point of ẹ wá lọ cut video, ẹ wá gbé music sí background ẹ mọ̀ láwọn video kan tó jẹ́ pé táwọn ẹ̀kan bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ara máa play àwọn bóyá guitar báwọn piano kan sálẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ á máa wọnú ara yẹn á máa make sense even tó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ ń pọ́rọ̀ òṣì ni á máa jọ́bẹ́ ní pé ẹni dẹ́ ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́gbọ́n nothing no it's just the music that is connecting with your soul and that's the trick they want to use here so that people listening to that they will not even listen to the words táwọn yẹn ń sọ music yẹn ló kàn á máa connect pé wọ́n ti fìyà jọmọ yìí wọ́n ti fìyà jọmọ yìí kí làwọn máa ṣe láti help ẹ̀ anyway ìyẹn ò wọ́ọ̀kì mọ́ ní century tàwa yìí o ẹ bá wa continue.
Ti Maga náà fẹ́ sọ nǹkan.
Okay.
Ti Maga sir, wo comment section.
má bínú mo kàn fẹ́ sáré shipping kankan ni ó pẹ́ tí mo ti fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn just for 1 minute. Ó máa ń it's amuses me and it's so mi mọ nǹkan mo fẹ́ sọ whenever I see these people because nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tí this little rat tó sọ lọ́wọ́ he mentioned something and he said he was accusing the system and I've been wanted to shape this in just because taba kan wò pé okay we know what is going on and we don't want to accuse the system but to be candid tabanikawo the system has been very very unfair to this side and they are taking advantage of that and still they àwọn ló tún ní mind láti máa accuse the system and I will just chip this in if you could look at the people well-known activists like Mr. Pythagoras said àwọn tá a mọ̀ sí activists you can mention but few the likes of Femi Falana the likes of Omoyele Sowore and so on láti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí they came out and they contributed the little tán lè contribute and let the whole world know what is really going on and that is it and they kept quiet but tẹ́ bá rí àwọn sudden activists àwọn Mohbad case turn me to activists these are the people we have on that side and these are the people shouting oh the system has been very very unfair to this side and I would say that for sure because all this nonsense see the likes of Josinche if the system works especially
ẹ ti kúrò níbi tí nẹ́tíwọ̀kì wà ó ti Maga.
ẹ ló ṣe ń gbọ́ mi.
a ti ń gbọ́ yín sìn.
Okay, sir. So since November 2013, barely 2 months, immediately 30 bẹ̀rẹ̀ Wunmi ti jáde, okay, go ahead. But see where we are today. And the system is the one giving them all this nonsense they are talking like that. The system is not working. If the system is working, you want to look at the ground.
Ti Maga tẹ́ bá lè change location yín kíní yẹn ń break gan sa.
Okay, ẹ máa bọ́rọ̀ yín lọ máa padà wá nígbà yìí ẹ máa bọ́rọ̀ yín lọ.
Okay, sir. So, but then actually get his point and is valid, very valid. The system, yes, you know, we try to cover the system as much as we can. I mean, in terms of, we don't want to complain too much that, oh, they're not doing this work because already these people have already made up this narrative in their mind that we are the one controlling the system. Among me is the one dictating for the president, dictating for the IGP, dictating for the chief judge or whatever in the country. So that's why we don't want to lay too much criticism or too much accusations on the system itself, both the court system, the police system and all that. But if we want to be fair, if we taba fẹ́ dálẹ̀ ká tún ṣá pẹ̀lú gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí àtàwọn facts tó ti come to light, juxtaposing it or comparing it what we have in our laws, we know everybody knows that the law has not been doing its job. The police has not been doing its job in protecting innocent citizens. And not just among me alone. Every other people who are innocent. Because number one, let's even leave the facts of this matter. The law guarantees that everybody is innocent until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. Everybody, regardless of anything, whether this case or another case. But we've seen activists like Yomi Fabiyi, since those are the people you call activists now, Abawon Forúkọ yẹn sí, criminals, vagabonds, fugitives. Those are your activists now. So, activist Yomi Fabiyi, we saw the way he dealt with those boys, Mohbad's friend, the way he abducted them, flew them to Abuja, maltreated them, deprived them of their rights. And people still came up online saying, no, he did well. That was necessary to be able to get whatever result they want to get. And people still align themselves to him. And upon all the reports, the police were just still there looking for how to get money from both sides. Get money from here, get money from there. Because at the end of the day, that is what they do. But it's not a show to actually berate the police, really. Because I can go all day to point out things that we actually infuriate most of us on how this system, sometimes unknowingly, maybe not intentionally, unknowingly supporting these people with criminal dispositions. These people on Joseph Aloba's team. These people on Team Neutral. The way the system is in a way protecting them. And they are even still asking for more. They are not still grateful. Most of them that are free today, they should be grateful that the system is somehow in a way broken. Because if the system was working perfectly, working well, most of these people should be behind bars. Most of them should be behind bars already. Starting from Joseph Aloba. Ṣé lórí àwọn actions yẹn ni àbí lórí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó ti sọ. Ordinarily, bó tiẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ ìbẹ̀rí ọmọ yẹn, bóyá àwọn ló pa, bóyá àwọn kọ́ ló pa o, that is nobody's business láàrin yẹn. There is a law that is saying that téèyàn bá kú under suspicious circumstances, you cannot arrogate, you cannot just give yourself the power to go and bury. That's one part of one law. Another part is that you cannot even bury somebody without getting the consent of the governor. In a living area, in a settlement area. So going by those two laws alone, Joseph Aloba by now should be eating his daily bread behind the bars. But again, it is not a show to actually berate the system or to condemn them really. But kontabande àwọn lapses yìí, tá ń ra àwọn, what is their word now, lacuna yìí, I need láti call it out, I need láti point it out, and I appreciate Timaga for doing that. So Timaga mo bóyá ti wà níbi tí network ti dà bí ká continue.
Yeah, thank you, sir. In fact, ẹ touch nǹkan tó ń bí mi inú tí mo fẹ́ sọ most elector, especially in party Josie Aloba. Because, you know, I mean, this thing has been happening from the beginning of this issue. And these people are, I want not cry foul. And because we just want to be, because we know there is no any cockroach in our cupboard there, we know what we stand for, we know what really happened, and we stand for the truth. So we are not bothered, we are not ready to be, you know, to be distracted. But, you know, these people, they want to believe, okay, that propaganda law, that they call out to system, like you rightly mentioned. How will somebody, the audio evidence is out there, somebody like VDM telling a boy that is going to buy him and nobody will ask question, and this thing circulate all around, all over the internet, and nobody is questioning this thing, and people think that it's right. It's a right thing to do. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tá ń sọ iná ni. You want that boy, you want to force him to say what is not, and he refuses, and you say you will pay him, and nobody is gonna ask about him. And the record is there. And these are the people that will come out and be calling the system. Olobi Minungba Tibobo was talking. You that you láti over maybe going to a year tó ti ń abuse èèyàn, tó ti ń sọ oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tó jọ ẹ̀ ò tó. Now they call you to bring evidence. Oh, the evidence mú jáde. They detain you and you are calling the system. Same thing Josie has been doing. This is the same Josie that came out for the past of almost 2 years now. To sọ pé wọ́n ló ń delay DNA, but you still go out there and play and the system has given Josie more than enough privilege, and this is very bad. Gbogbo nǹkan tó ń gbé wọlé tí ò tiẹ̀ yẹ kan entertain kan welcome, they are welcoming it, and because we just kept quiet, because we just think that okay, let them do whatever they want to do, but I'm not paying nǹkan tá a gbé dání pé òótọ́ ni, and they are taking advantage of it. So like you rightly said, Mr. Pythagoras, whenever we see àwọn kan díẹ̀ tó bá ṣe kí, we have to just let the whole world know. We have to say it out. The system has not been fair, and like I rightly said, like you said, these people will just dárúkọ èèyàn kan that was relevant in activism ní that side kó tó di pé ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ jáde. None of them, all of a sudden they became an activist, and they started doing shenanigans. But look at the people that we know that are human rights, the real human rights activists. They stood for the truth. They came out, they say what happened, and what they dákẹ́, wọ́n lo social media kan wá jókòó sórí TikTok láti máa sọ rubbish. So that is nǹkan tó bí mi nígbà tí mo gbọ́ tí this idiot rat tó náà lè máa dárúkọ the system kìnìkan. Because when I look at his bail condition, I was like, no, the system is not fair at all. At all. So that is just what I want to say. Mr. Pythagoras, I continue. God bless you, sir.
Yes, sir. Sister Temi, oya, túbọ̀ gbé wa débẹ̀.
I've never been arrested by the police. I've never been detained. I've never slept in a cell. I've never been remanded in prison because I'm a very good lawyer by this citizen of Nigeria until this matter happened. Well, you won't believe that the police officer that was interrogating me, that investigated the case in respect to the petition that Wunmi Cynthia wrote, didn't even know that Mohbad is yet to be buried till now. The policeman was shocked.
Oh, okay. Mi ti rò bóyá read the mind mi ní pé mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ síbẹ̀ yẹn.
No, tí blue yẹn bá ti mi ò ń gbọ́ nǹkan tí à ń sọ, but tí bá ti rí kíní blue box yẹn. Ó yá ẹ̀sùn.
So, ó ní àwọn tí wà arrested, yes. Torí tí rẹ̀ ni tó máa stand up to your stupidity, tó máa stand up to your criminal nature. Ó tí rẹ̀ ni tó máa sọ pé no, you cannot do this and pretend everything is fine. I will not take that. But that's what Wunmi is telling you now, that no, you cannot go about saying you're fighting for justice, defaming me, setting me up for dragging, setting me up for harassment, both online and offline, and you pretend everything is fine. No, I will not take that. Let the law, let the authorities, let them look into this. Because at the end of the day, this case is not between you and Wunmi, as you might want to think. Maybe tomorrow there might be a case between you and Wunmi. But right now, this case is between you and the states. The state have done their investigation. They have seen that you've conducted yourself in a criminal way, in a criminal manner. And they've decided that, you know what, we don't have to take the laws into our hand also. Let's take it to the court. Let the court examine the law. Let the court decide your fate for you. Otherwise, left to the police themselves, based on that their step of even charging you to court, filing charges against you. If everything were to be just about the police, if all the process is to stop there, by now you will be in jail. Because they've done their investigation in their own, or by their own estimation, they have already found you guilty. That no, this person has contravened, this person has gone against these sections of the law. But because we don't have the power to just throw him into jail, let's take him to court, let the court decide whether he should be thrown into the jail or not. So that's why up to now, you've not been arrested, you've not had any police case because somebody has not stood up to your stupidity and to your criminal nature. That is why. And again, you were saying, do we know that the police in charge of this case, do we know that they don't even know that Mohbad is buried? What's a mistake in it? The police, whoever the officer is, about officers to one be or make a mistake ni, I need to call one out. They invited you, you honored their invitation. The first thing they should have asked you, is Mohbad even buried or not? That should probably be the first question. Even this case is about Mohbad. Again, that's it. But no, is Mohbad buried? Why is he not buried? Ibolowa. Ekile tí wọ́n ti bury ẹ̀, ẹ lọ pé bàbá ẹ̀ wá, ẹ lọ pa àwọn family ẹ̀ wá, àbí? Stupid immunizer. Àbí now? That is what they should have done now. Ìyẹn ló yẹ kó jókòó kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní investigate. Ọgbẹ́jọ́ wá pé you acted unlawfully, you acted illegally, you acted criminally. You're telling them to go and start looking into something that's none of their business. Maybe they should even start the coroner inquest again because you have been petitioned. So that everything will look fair, everything will look decent. And a man sọ̀rọ̀ tí ò lọ́pọlọ, ẹ̀dẹ̀ máa sọ pé ẹ̀ ṣe fídíò náà ni. Ṣé ẹ̀ máa ń sọ pé nítorí àwíjàre kí tán tọ́ lẹ́nu ni? Continue, Sister Temi.
When I mentioned his arrestation in front of my lawyer, he can't deny that. I took my time before making a video involving Wunmi and eye immunizer since I got out of prison since Thursday. When I came out, I found out a lot of things. I saw that the matter was trending on social media and on all major blogs. Then I did my own digging, See, Nigerians, there's a lot you don't know and you don't understand. But grab it up, complete the follow button and listen attentively till the end. As you since I won't mention my own body, some things you should all know. Firstly, I got a call from someone saying the Office of the Commissioner of Police is inviting me for criminal conspiracy and conduct license to bring breach of peace. I then got an invitation letter, posted it to my page, and I honored the invitation. But when I posted the video of the invitation, 70% of the Nigerians in my comment are saying it is wrong. And this is where the problem is. Many of you don't know what you can do and what you can't do. If someone calls you, you have the right to actually record the call if you're involved. In as much as you don't use to bully, blackmail, or harass. So obviously, I went with the lawyer and I found out Wunmi Cynthia wrote I saw the petition. I laughed because.
Hello, ma. Yes, Kofi, last one. See, in as much you don't use it to bully, to harass, and to intimidate. And that was the purpose of you posting the video. And you said you got a call from somebody. No, you got a call from a police officer because the person identified themselves to you. Whether you now believe the identification, you believe the identity or not, is another issue. But don't just say like, oh, I got something from a random person and I was afraid or something. No, we listen to it. They identify themselves to you. They even mention the commissioner, that this directive is coming from the commissioner of police. So, yes, you posted the video with the aim to intimidate them that, okay, if I post the video, or maybe they will now not want to do what they should do. So it becomes a crime there. If you record that kind of conversation, that's your own, because you didn't get the consent of the other person. That's one thing. But yes, you can do it if it's for your educational purpose, if it's for your security purpose, if it's for any other thing, you can do it. But if the intention cannot be proven that, oh, this was done because you want to intimidate, you want to harass, you want to bully, you want to subject another person to ridicule, which you did with that police officer, then you are entering into that region of criminality. And you're used to this region anyway. It looks like you're becoming a career criminal. Because everything you say, everything you do sits in that region of criminality. Eba, continue, ma. Yes, ma'am.
Mumbo. So to connect Monko con the might be no to connect them.
Did they even know that Mohbad is yet to be buried till now. The policeman was shocked when I mentioned his arrestation in front of my lawyer. He can't deny that. I took my time before making a video involving Wunmi and immunizer since I got out of prison since Thursday. When I came out, I found out a lot of things. I saw that the matter was trending on social media and on all major blogs. Then I did my own video. Nigerians, there's a lot you don't know and you don't understand, but grab your popcorn, click the follow button and listen attentively till the end. As you all know, the case is currently in court. There are some things I won't mention now, but there are some things you should all know. Firstly, I got a call from someone saying the office of the Commissioner of Police is inviting me for criminal conspiracy and conduct license to bring breach of peace. I then got an invitation letter posted into my page and I honored the invitation. But when I posted the video of the invitation, 70% of the Nigerians in my comment are saying it is wrong, and this is where the problem is. Many of you don't know what you can do and what you can't do. If someone calls you, you have the right to actually record the call if you're involved. In as much as you don't use to bully, blackmail, or harass. So obviously I went with a lawyer and I found out Wunmi Cynthia wrote a petition against me. When I saw the petition, I laughed because the petition was very funny. Upon all the videos I've made on the Mohbad case, she's a prominent name in the Mohbad case because she was a partner, right? None of the videos and documents I posted was used on the petition. Only my words were taken out of context to file a petition against me. Like, okay. The officer then took my statement, interrogating me, right? But not that I've never been arrested by the police. I've never been detained. I've never slept in a cell. I've never been remanded in prison because I'm a very good law-abiding citizen of Nigeria until this matter happened. No, you all believe that the police officer that was interrogating me, that investigated the case in respect to the petition that Wunmi Cynthia wrote, didn't even know that Mohbad is yet to be buried till now. The policeman was shocked when I mentioned his arrestation in front of my lawyer. He can't deny that. I instantly then knew what was going on, so I was already very ready to go to court. The officers were looking at me like, okay, I posted the invitation online, so they couldn't cross any boundary with me. I finished my statement on Wunmi Cynthia's lawyer.
Mo tẹ wò bóyá ṣe ló ń repeat tẹ́lẹ̀ ni torí ọ̀rọ̀.
mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ because ó connect mọ́ nǹkan kan so ó tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni.
Bẹ̀nẹ̀ welcome o.
Bó ṣe kíní ẹ nìyẹn kọ́kọ́ fi ṣe intro ó tún wá fi sí inú fídíò náà so nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ tó fi jẹ́ ó repeat the same thing nìyẹn ó kọ́kọ́ fi ṣe intro. Ọ̀gá mi
Bẹ̀nẹ̀ ẹ dá sétò.
Ọ̀gá mi gbà tẹ́mi wo fídíò yìí the only thing I could see is lamentation. Èmi ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ̀lé ojú lamentation lọ ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ti kọjá common sense lamentation ni ó lament ni because all this they did not even know that Mohbad has not been buried kí ló kàn wá ń bẹ̀ kò yé mi.
Ó yẹ kó dẹjọ́ ẹnu ni ọ̀ntì tó bá bury Mohbad.
Kò yé mi.
Tó bá dẹ̀ ti bury Mohbad kan padà wá.
You are not even addressing the bone of contention. You are not even addressing what you are being petitioned for. None of the statement of fact as to the reason why you are being petitioned was even addressed, not even in the barest minimum. Oh, Sokoto gbé lọ síbẹ̀ fún. Oh, Sokoti oni o ṣe. Oh, so anything. Okay, you just gave a blank statement because there's no how you would tell your followers that they will not tell you that it's true. You said it. Because on some statement tó bá sọ fún àwọn tó ń follow ẹ, they will tell you that you actually said it. But you are just giving a blank statement.
Tó ń bá tiẹ̀ ní dementia, ó yẹ káwọn followers ẹ̀ rántí àbí.
Ọpọlọ wọn tiẹ̀ máa pé because you are just giving a blank statement because you are trying to be wise and you are not wise, to be honest. Gbogbo explanation tó ń ṣe pé even the police were surprised àwáwí ni gbogbo yẹn because you know that you have no case. I know mọ̀ pé tí mo ṣe lè jàre nu case yìí. And what do? You start to do pity party or try láti play victim like they are trying to witch you for saying the truth. Òun tó ẹ̀dẹ̀ lọ́ní pé kó wá sọ, òun lọ́ní kó wá sọ. If they are charging you for something, go and say your truth. As simple as that. You don't need to come online to come and be explaining. But I'm just like, it's a waste of time as far as I'm concerned because it's just unnecessary ṣàlàyé. Gbogbo ṣàlàyé ò kan anybody bí báyìí. As far as we are concerned, any ṣàlàyé that you want to do, go and tell it to the court of law. Inú mi dùn pé gbà tó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ introduction yẹn, ó ní I'm just coming from prison. Intro yẹn lásán, ìyẹn ni mama jẹ for life. I am just coming from prison. Nínú gbogbo intro tó sọ yẹn, ìyẹn nìkan ló mú èmi lọ́wọ́. I am just coming from prison. Tó bá ti lè sọ yẹn, inú tèmi dùn. So gbogbo ṣàlàyé tó kù tó wá ń ṣe yẹn, my dear, kò kàn mí o, honestly. Kò kàn wá ń bì báyìí, honestly. I am just coming from prison tó ra sọ yẹn. Ìyẹn nìkan ni kókó tí mo mú dání. Kò lọ sẹ́wọ̀n àbò lọ sẹ́wọ̀n, ó lọ. And that's all. That's all everything. Ọ̀gá mi kò tí mi máa sọ ń pa ìyẹn o. The guy is irrelevant as far as I'm concerned.
You are on point. So, Sister Temia, continue.
the police station, I saw it, but I did like I did. Wunmi Cynthia wrote, didn't even know that Mohbad is yet to be buried till now. The policeman was sure when I mentioned his arrestation in front of my lawyer. He can't deny that. I instantly then knew what was going on, so I was already very ready to go to court. The officers were looking at me like, okay, I posted the invitation online, so they couldn't cross any boundary with me. I finished my statement. Wunmi Cynthia's lawyer came. He then videoed me at the police station. I saw it, but I did like I didn't see it. Even at the court, Wunmi's lawyer videoed me in handcuff. I see him too. I don't like I don't see him. There's no way he sent the video to, I don't know, but they sent it to Mario. I won't say a poster, but I will skip some things for now. I will come back to all those ones later, right? So fast forward, the police says there's no resolution, the client is taking the case to court. So they have to detain me, most especially I'm a media person, and I have to show up for court.
Hold on, ma. Number one, ìwọ lè record your ọlọ́pàá kó post ẹ̀. Oneya kan record ẹ̀. Of course you are not even coming with any proof now. Nípa ọmọ òbí lọ́yà ọkàn record ẹ̀. But you can record ọlọ́pàá and you post it and you're claiming you don't want to use it for some nefarious purpose. But then you also admitted in that your video now that the policeman already saw the video you posted online. So they couldn't cross any boundaries with you. So you knew what you were doing when you were posting those videos, when you were posting them online. You knew. And like we said, if you record another person without their consent and you use it for the purposes of harassment, intimidation, bullying, or any other unlawful purpose, then you walk into the criminal region. So, and by your own admission, you knew the intent of you posting that video was to, yes, maybe keep them on their toes, try not, maybe so that they don't cross, like you said, boundaries. We don't know if you're the one defining boundaries for them now, but then clearly you knew what you were doing. And what's up when you come video, which they have the right to do also. Except if the only time they don't have the right to do that kind of video is if they are doing it to intimidate you, to bully you, to harass you. Then you have to prove their intent also. You have to prove they took that video also. You cannot just go about mentioning name. And that's how people put themselves in trouble. If Wunmi lawyers decide now, all the Wunmi lawyers, because all the Wunmi lawyers now come together and decide that we want to take this up with you. Now, at the end of the day, I don't think it's about education. I just think if you're just a criminal, most of the time you'll be a criminal. All you'll be doing will be leaning towards that type of stuff, criminality. Because you can come up here now and accuse somebody when you don't even have evidence of it at all. You don't have the evidence of it. If somebody recorded you, whether they are Wunmi's lawyer or they are not even a Wunmi's lawyer. But then, we'll go on. Eba, move on, ma.
I then entered for the first time ever, story for another day. The next morning, my lawyers were already in court. Then the police brought me out.
Sorry, ma.
Do another question.
Mo gbàgbé ọ̀kan bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ní ọdẹ sọ pé kò sí resolution that they cannot do any resolution with the with Wunmi, that the case we have to proceed to court. So that one there we tell every other person, all of you, when we're telling you that this guy was begging, this idiot tó bọ́ sórí online tó ń ṣe flenge yìí sí lọ́ọ̀yà méjèèjì àti tó ń wá Pepsi kirilẹ̀ àti tó tiẹ̀ ìnókúnnú díẹ̀. They were both begging that how can this be resolved? Tí ò ní la ọ̀rọ̀ kéèsì lọ, tó máa yanjú ẹ̀, tí state ò ní bá bọ̀bọ̀ ìṣe case. They were begging. You saw, you heard him in the video that they said they couldn't come to any resolution, that the case had to be in court because Wunmi and our lawyers said no. They insisted that this case has to be tried in the court. Yes, if he's truly remorseful, if he's truly sorry, if he truly means it, let him go to the court and plead there. Let him go and plead with the judge. Let him go and show his remorse to the judge. And maybe the judge can, decide, you have to tamper justice with mercy sometime. If the judge wants to do that, good for the judge, not for him. Tito òun ni láti make sure he has his day in court, and that Omowumi has done. Whatever happens to him after that, it's not Omowumi's problem again. Omowumi is going to trust the system, even though there are a whole lot of areas that you will not want to trust the system on. But Omowumi wants to trust the system this time around, as she has been trusting all this while. That go to the system, let the system decide your fate. You have done this to me, but if I along here in this case, on the system. So you were begging, not just profusely, you were begging. Omowumi àtàwọn lọ́yà ṣe ògbó ẹ̀bẹ̀ yẹn ni. Nǹkan tí kéèsì yẹn ṣe wà nǹkan tì sí nìyẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ á continue ma. Ó tún máa padà sẹ́yìn àbí? Ẹ wà muted o sister Temi mo mọ.
Mo ń bọ̀ mi tí play.
Oh, okay. Nígbà tá à ń sọ fún wọn pé wèrè yan yín o, ṣe ló ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ káàkiri o.
They sent it to marry. That one's a poster, but I will skip some things for now. I will come back to all those ones later, right? So fast forward, the police says there's no resolution. The client is taking the case to court, so they have to detain me. Most especially, I'm a media person, and I have to show up for court. So I will go from police station to court. Okay. I then enter for the first time ever. Story for another day. The next morning, my lawyers were already in court. Then the police brought me out, said he wants to do another question. I was like, you say we did go court this morning. My lawyers already did court. So waiting. The interview said, you want to ask about my phone, blah, blah, blah. I say, make my lawyer come. He then said to me that he has the right not to take me to court on that Tuesday that he's still investigating. That was why I now change down. Like, person that petition against me, I'm not yet guilty. I'm sure you had already did your due diligence. You that didn't even know Mohbad is yet to be buried. Came back to the cell. Call my lawyer, come. My lawyer.
I'm waiting for you.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm guilty again.
On my phone, they said.
Money share where any boy ni. Only Mohbad is not yet to be buried. Tó ń pariwo yìí gan-an.
Èèyàn wèrè ẹ bèrè pé ṣé wèrè èèyàn gáàmì bí
Ó ń fi yẹn, ó fẹ́ fi yẹn ṣe bí àpò. Àníyàn ló kọ́ bí ọlọ́pàá pẹ̀lú Mohbad has not been buried.
Ó fi ṣe emotional blackmail.
Emotional blackmail ni now. Kí ló kọ́ àwọn èèyàn
Mohbad has not been buried. Baba Mohbad decided to leave the boy in the morgue. What has that one got to do with the cyber
If the cop stopping Josie for burying.
Ṣé kóòtù tí ní kọ́ wá gbé Mohbad fọlọ́ sí?
Báyọ̀ ní pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì release òkú yẹn according to Báyọ̀ sọ lórí supervise pé wọ́n ti release òkú yẹn fún Josie. So what are you talking about?
I don't know.
Kí ló wá fi ń ṣe? Ṣé ó ń preserve ẹ̀ fún Suya ni or what?
Escapade.
Escapade, welcome sir.
Èwo ni kíni?
Ó fi ṣe defense. Mi ò gbọ́ rẹ̀ kó tiẹ̀ jọra wọn.
Bẹ̀nẹ̀ ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ní pé ká lè mọ̀ pé bóyá kò mọ̀. Welcome sir. Sure,
welcome sir. Kí ni gbogbo ilé ìbá ìtorí Ọlọ́run mi láì gbogbo ilé ẹ̀ṣọ́ra yín ọ̀gá mi.
Please, can you go out and come back? Go out and come back.
Ọ̀gá mi ẹ̀ṣọ́ra yín bẹ̀ yẹn o. Ọ̀rọ̀ immunizer là ń sọ máa kó di tèmi àti yín o.
Welcome sir.
Welcome sir.
Oh God, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti sùn wà láìta. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ serious náà, ọ̀ṣẹ́ ìgbà ọ̀rọ̀ tó tí kò là ń sọ bí báyìí. Sísọ Ọmọládé ọ̀rọ̀ tí yín àbọ̀ wá bá ní.
Over this guy is welcome sir. Any welcome love.
Àwọn padà wá fẹ́ bẹ̀ ní ẹjọ́ torí Ọlọ́run.
Ẹ̀yin tí wù ẹ̀ serious o, wọ́n ti petition yín ẹ̀rí yẹn rò ẹ̀rí yẹn rán o, ètè mi lẹ rí rán.
You don't dey on the line. Wetin we go do you for this platform? You don't go collide with the wrong person, Sister Bene. We be say sabi insult people.
Carry ọmọge for here.
Yeah, request now. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ now?
Escapade ọ̀nà dẹ̀ wà kó dẹ̀ dẹnu escapade ìbò gan.
Ẹ má wọlé.
Ọmọ ara ṣe gbọ́ jẹ́jẹ́ ni.
Ẹ má lọ bẹ̀ Mr. Maita. Ẹ kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ̀yin comment section Mr. Bíbọ́lá ẹ má join wọn o. Ẹ má join wọn o.
Have you tried to?
Ẹ má bẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣe rẹ́rìn.
Ọ̀gá mi ẹ̀rọ ti yín o. Ẹ̀rọ kéèsì tó wà lọ́wọ́ yín o. Orúkọ yín ti wọnú kéèsì. Ẹ̀rọ gbogbo ibà orúkọ ti yín lọ́wọ́ petition.
O ṣé kò tó bẹ́ẹ̀, Mr. Paita?
Ó tó bẹ́ẹ̀.
Try another place. ẹ kúrò ń pálọ̀ fún bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ó yá kẹ́yìn wọnú room.
Àmà ó mà sùn mí báyìí mi ti ẹ̀wà mo tún fẹ́ send request mi to request. Okay, we try another one.
Sísá méjì ẹ ṣọ́ra yín o, sísá dúkì. Ẹ fílẹ̀ mi tẹ̀ ní mo comment section mi ní mo comment section mọ́.
Benescapade.
Mo kọ́kọ́ Benescapade.
Ó le jù.
Ẹ̀yin comment section yìí.
Ó sound romantic.
Wàhálà ó tún kọ́ petition gbogbo yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí comment section yẹn ẹ̀yin kọ́kọ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Nǹkan tẹ máa ń dálẹ̀ comment section nǹkan tẹ̀ ń dálẹ̀ owó ọ̀sìn ju everybody.
Wọ́n ti ní fún yín ní dóòsì kan tó máa ń fáwọn jù sí.
Oh God, Jesus Lord.
Wọ́n náà ń blush ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bá wa meet.
Ọ̀gá mi ẹ̀gbọ́n ọ̀gá sọ ni ṣàtẹ́bẹ̀ ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀ṣọ́ ti ní o ẹ̀gbọ́n tí olórí burúkú ẹ̀ sọ ni ó ní pé they were not able to settle it kí ló ń settle lọ́yẹ̀ ń bẹ̀bẹ̀
nínú ọlọ́run bẹ̀bẹ̀ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ọlọ́run yẹn ló ṣe kúrò ṣe bọ́ta wa parọ́ èèyàn tí lọ́yẹ̀ ń bẹ̀bẹ̀.
ìkanra yẹn ló fi wá jáde ìkanra yẹn ni òun ló fi jáde ìkanra yẹn ni.
Àwọn òṣèyàn burúkú ni ṣé ló yẹ ká rìkọ́ọ̀dì ẹbí tó ti gbé Pepsi dání tó ń try láti monitor sugar level ẹ̀ tó ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ lọ́wọ́.
Mr. Paita ṣe mọ̀ wípé ìlà tí inú wọn dùn wọ́n sọ wípé inú àwọn dùn wípé immunizer wípé kò jáde wá bẹ̀bẹ̀ wípé he came out strong kò dàbí àwọn
kí ló come out strong ló ká lòlò.
Kò dàbí ìjọba náà tó yẹn náà fi rán mouth lánàá ó tún ti ń sunkún lé nínú mo ṣe mọ́sẹ̀ ẹ fi mí sílẹ̀ mo ní mi ò ṣe jọ́ ó dàpọ̀ àwọn family ẹ̀ tún ti pè pé ṣó mọ̀ pé àwọn show tó tún ṣe tún ti dé station ó ti tún pariwo mo kọjá ń bẹ̀ sí tó ẹ̀jẹ̀ fòun lọ́rùn sílẹ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ fẹ́ pa òun ni òun ò ṣe justice
òun ló fẹ́ parẹ́ náà mo ṣe tọ́ka bá
òun náà rò pé bí eléyìí ṣe bọ́ta tó ṣe pro kóun náà bọ́ta kóun wá ṣe pro.
Àǹjọ́lá ò lè fi jẹ́ fún ẹ.
wọ́n tó ló gbàrìyà eléyìí ó máa yẹ àwọn tó máa pè ó tún bú àwọn aláàánú ẹ̀ gan pé wọn ó gírídì ìwọ tó ológun àrìnyàwó náà ń jáyán.
ó mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ owó lórí.
àwọn atagbélé lọ sí kóòtù immediately ní second day pé àkókò ó rò pa àgọ́ ni.
ó tún sọ pé òun tó bínú ayé o mi rò pé ẹ tẹ́ bá gbọ́ fídíò yẹn lọ ó ní pé òun tó bínú ayé òun tí wọ́n fi lè ṣe òun báyìí pé ká máa sọ ẹni tí ò bá léèyàn.
ojú ẹ̀rí ṣẹ́gẹ̀ nìyẹn ojú ẹ̀rí ṣẹ́gẹ̀ ló sọ yẹn.
ó lóun tó bí tẹ mọkàn tó fi rẹ̀ pé tó lóun tó bínú ayé.
oh God abeg o.
ó ní someone like me mọ.
ní kó sọ pé ó ní lẹ́yìn gbogbo ẹ̀ òun tún sun sẹ́ẹ̀lì bóun ṣe kó láyà dání òun tún sun sẹ́ẹ̀lì.
so ilé ò yẹ kó ti ẹjọ ṣé ìní ò yẹ kó ti sọ fún àwọn ọlọ́pọlọ kíkú yòókù wípé they are in for trouble.
It's because we want we are law-abiding people. We always want to follow the dictates of the law. Otherwise, tó bá ń pọ̀ wá agbára la fẹ́ lò ní kò kàn ní sún sẹ́ẹ̀lì ọjọ́ kan really. By now, ó máa wà lẹ́wọ̀n kan bóyá ní Maiduguri àbí ní Kwara táwọn èèyàn ò lè mọ ibi tó ti ń ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lọ́wọ́.
Bíi ti Samson
jọ. Tabaníkàró ti àwọn ìwà tó ti wù àti how ready our people are ní pé ẹ má worry whatever it takes tabanika lo gbo level yẹn ni it will not be hard by now but because eventually we have a way of prevailing over our people pé no ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe by the books let's follow the right process let's do it right so that kọ́ máa wà accused wa lọ́la ń pé nǹkan táwọn ṣe àwa náà ń ṣe o we don't want to be in the same bed with them otherwise èyí tó jáde tó ń ṣe fídíò kò bá máa ti jáde sọ pé òun ṣe fídíò by now wọn bá sì máa wá kiri lẹ̀ bóyá wọ́n á ti declare wanted tàbí tí wọ́n ti gbé kinní tí wọ́n máa ṣe justice for èèyàn kan àwọn ọmọbi tó wà but àwọn ò fẹ́ go that route we are better than that. Asake of Kando Nation, how you doing? So sister tell me continue video yẹn fún wa.
Sister Asake tún ti kí yín wọn tún kí èmi àmì kò sí wàhálà èmi àti yín
ìdájọ́ sí. ó ti kí yín láti lẹ́yìn lọ́kọ́ kí tó ní namesake àwọn ìbọn.
ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ sókè tí n bá rí kíkí yẹn mi nígbà host ìyá ẹ má bínú mi ò comment. Sister Asake my love ó yá ká dúró de mama dúró de escapade
exhibit say na him I use make the post abi then I was handcuffed and then told the two police officers they were taking me to court that this petition now get to be found guilty so I have never been arrested.
ṣé ẹ ti tán ni.
irọ́ ó ṣì ń lọ fẹ́ sáré pọ̀ sẹ̀ ni mo gbọ́ pẹ́ sàn kankan sọ.
náà nítorí mo rí tó tún sọ pé ó ń sọ nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé ó padà sí bẹ̀rẹ̀ again. Yes, you were handcuffed. You were supposed to be handcuffed. You are a flight risk. You are violent, going by everything you've been doing and everything you're willing to do. It shows you're dangerous. They have to limit your movement. They have to curtail you. They have to be safe to the officers. They have to be safe from you. Ìwọ tó lè wo àwọn criminal acts bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, you can go any length just to escape. So, unrestrained any, it is normal. It is allowed. It is lawful. They have not done anything. In fact, with you, the officers, they have been intentional. They've been mindful of their actions. They were so mindful of their actions with you, they didn't want anything to come back at them like, oh, they didn't do their due diligence, they didn't follow the process, or they abused your right. You see that in all the videos you did. You cannot accuse them of abusing your right or any way, unlike what Yomi is doing for every other person. I continue, ma.
Police officers, they were taking me to court that this petition now, I'm even yet to be found guilty. I'm already placed in handcuff that if I also come to you guys and start writing petitions against people, so you would have to invite those people on my behalf, detain them, then put them in handcuff, then we charge them to court together.
No, hold on, ma. No, it is wrong. That is fundamentally wrong. That's logically wrong. The process is that you write petition against somebody, the police investigates it, and they will invite that person after findings, making some clarification from the person, and they are still of the opinion that that person has actually committed some offenses. They've actually gone against some dictates of the law, some provisions of the law. At that point, they will charge you to court. If they consider you a flight risk, if they consider you a danger to yourself or a danger to them, they will place you in handcuff. Then, it is the procedure, it is the law. Not that you will just write petition against somebody, they will invite them, they'll put them in handcuff, they will take them to court. That is not the process. Don't jump a critical step there. They will investigate. And that's what they did in your own. They investigated, they invited you for clarification. They could have easily come to your place, track you and locate you and bundle you up like the animal that you are. They could have done that, but they afforded you that opportunity to come and make clarifications. And after you came, you said what you need to say, and with the evidence, the doubting evidence facing you, even you yourself, you knew you did something wrong. You knew you were in big shit. That's why your true lawyers were begging profusely. And that's the investigation part of this case, which they did. And that was why they were able to put you in handcuffs. That was why they were able to charge you to court the next day. Because, again, they didn't want to infringe on your rights. They could have gone one way or the other. They could have, looked for an alternative, maybe getting another to hold you for another 48 hours or hold you indefinitely gone. But no. They want this to be a professional kind of case, and they were professional with you. So I'll continue if nobody is saying anything.
Are you catching up? I hope your popcorn's never finished. So we got to the court. I was handcuffed for 5 hours. My case was called, the judge sat. I got 6 counts. My counts were then read to me, and I pleaded not guilty to all 6 counts. I then noticed that inside the petition, we added that she was attacked in public.
Okay.
Because of me, because of my post. But at the count reads she was almost. Inside the petition, she wrote she was attacked. Okay. Like, I already see what was going on, like my reaction, pure reaction in Yoruba, taking that line, like Agbako, so what I...
Yes. Stupid me. And that's the part of the investigation I was just explaining now. Maybe you get to understand it now with this. So, even if you have it in the petition that she was attacked, The petition is her statement. The petition is how she feels. The petition is the fears she felt when you were doing all these things, what she went through. Of course, the police being the unbiased investigator in this, they will investigate the claims. They will ask questions from her. They will ask questions from you. They will review the available evidence. And at that point, they will determine what charge is appropriate. And after their investigation, they determine that, okay, maybe she was not attacked, like maybe did not suffer any bodily harm right away. If somebody comes to me aggressively and say, you want any bye, kinikon, that is an attack. Mo mọ̀ pé àwọn English ilé tóbi jù fún immunizer, but you will learn the new case one way or the other. If somebody approach me in a manner that I don't like, in a manner that causes me to be in comprehension or apprehension of myself, in a manner that causes me to want to step back and be mindful of my environment, it is an attack. It's an attack. So if somebody is saying, oh, I was attacked because of what you did, yes, they are right to say they were attacked. Yes, the police might now look at it and now say, okay, what is the law saying about attack, really? Is it just you being apprehension of yourself, or you actually physically assaulted? The police can now determine that, okay, that is attack in the English sense of it, in the petition sense of it, is fine. But putting it in charges, taking it to court, attack itself might not be able to hold water in the court. After investigation, they now decided that almost attacked. So what is wrong in that? What is too big in that for you to understand? That is what your posts, what your bullying, what your online harassment, your cyber stalking, that is what it did to her. And that is what she expressed in the petition. And the police reframed it. That because the law might not look at it that way, they know what the law is looking at. They know what elements needs to be present for each of these charges. They have reviewed it, and by their own estimation or in their own estimation, they have decided that no, using attack is not the right thing, almost attack is the right thing there. Ebu Adebema.
Reacted to in the video, and even to what the Aloba's family lawyer said about infidelity, right? To a full caption that the caption was cut in half inside the petition, and then to the jackpot statement too, everything taken out of context. And then at extra that I even posted an explicit, content of hers. Okay, so with all this, I was very confident that I would trust the court to bring real justice on this case. Yeah, I did now remember that it is still on this same Mohbad case that the court asked the Aloba to go and look for hospital, and then me, Cynthia, to go and look for hospital, and the court's welfare officer to go and look for hospital. They give them weeks.
Yeah. So you're already starting to know your fate. Yeah. You're already knowing where your end is going to be here. That's why you're already pulling this card now. Because the card you're pulling is that, oh, the court cannot be trusted. Even though that's not the same court, it's not the same court. But of course, the way you guys have painted it online, the court is colluding with Wunmi, the court is doing this, the court is doing that. Now that's the card you're trying to play here. That is it not the same court that went to go and bring one center, but a man saw that court here no ni professor meet. Okay, who else? What else will you do? Let's not, even if we don't analyze that and show you how wrong you are. Yes, what else will you do? Do you have another court somewhere else? Surely court in Yanababai that you want to now submit yourself to, you want to submit yourself to his jurisdiction. No, it is still the same court. They will decide your fate based on the evidence. You will have the chance to defend yourself. Odi, you pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Yes, you pleaded not guilty to all the charges, doesn't mean you're guilty. You said they took words out, they just picked some words from your stuff. They didn't even go for your posts. That because of that, that because of that, maybe that means you're not guilty. They took your words out of context. Yes, you will have the chance to provide context to them. If that is your submission, that they took them out of context, the time will come when the trial starts properly. You will be provided, you will be availed the opportunity of providing context to all these things you have said. And you will now be able to show to the court how friendly how friendly they are. Now they were just friendly banters. I was just advising her. You will provide context eventually. But one thing you need to know.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Ogami, if this guy is making an excuse that based on context, the court will look at the pattern of how you've been behaving towards this said widow. If you are saying you made a statement and they misunderstood you, is your intention to behind the statement you made? And how can your intention be proven? Is the pattern of the videos you've done prior to that time, even after that time, and this comment under the said video, it will show how people that are your followers perceive the message you are passing across. So there's a pattern. You cannot now lie that they took your word out of context. It's a different thing. Maybe you just made a video, maybe out of the blue. You've never done any video about Wunmi before. But there is a pattern. So everybody know more kawati now. They will know that this is a pattern of the way you've been behaving. This is an intentional way of subjecting this widow to dragging, to constant bullying. So you know what you are doing. You were not misunderstood. You were your whatever statement you made wasn't taken out of context. So don't come and give us that bull crap here. No.
Exactly. Yeah, go on, Esther.
Yeah. Talking about, it's so funny when I saw that video where he was talking about, they said Wunmi was attacked. Wunmi was nearly attacked, blah, blah, blah. It shows the kind of people that we're dealing with here. Defamation is an attack on a person's reputation. Libel, slander, all those. When people were putting all those things out on social media, saying that she has 5 NIN, she's this, she's that, is an attack. It's not when you strike somebody with an instrument or you eat somebody, that is when you can qualify someone as an attack. But obviously, their sense, the way they understand things are, they're a bit shallow. They're very, very shallow. That's the way I see it. I saw him doing those videos. I'm thinking this guy is even committing more atrocities. But obviously, they need that drama. This is what is fueling their movement. They need the drama. They need to show that, they're doing something to appeal to those in their camp. Imagine him saying that the police officer did not even know that they haven't buried Mohbad. What has that got to do with anything? It even goes to show that all of your noise that you're making on social media, even a police officer does not even know. That is how disinterested people have been on this matter. But you think all this noise you're making is everywhere. They think it's the whole world that is listening to them. But it's only us, only the people here on J4M that is listening to you. If you go to Lagos, people have forgotten about the case. If you talk about it, they'll be like, have they not buried that boy yet? But Yomi will sit down there, all these guys will sit down there and think that, whatever they are saying is projecting across the world. No, it is not.
It's crazy. Like you said, they are shallow in their thinking. Even him saying, they didn't even go for his post. It is whatever he said. They were taking his words out of context. Because you have just read a charge sheet, you have seen your count, you think that's all the prosecution, that's all they have for you, or that's all they have against you. Again, you're shallow in your thinking. The charge sheet itself is just meant to identify one or two things. Number one, maybe yes, to identify the accused that, so person is charged with so thing, to identify the offenses. Whatever date is there, whatever the complaint is all about, also to describe the conduct, what you have done that has warranted all these offenses, and also to cite whatever law you have broken, whatever law you have infringed on. Whatever sections of the law you have broken. That is what the charges is basically meant for. Not to tell you all the prosecution has against you. So if they have used 1 or 2 words from what you have used in your charge sheet, that's not the evidence they have against you. Wait till discovery. Wait till the trial. Wait till they start disclosing what the evidence is. As your lawyer asks for the list of evidences, the list of witnesses. No, you've not gotten to that stage. And you are here already looking like you're jubilating. You've not seen all those things. And if you are wise, if you sit down and look at that charge sheet critically, and you see the progression of those offenses from offense 1, I believe all of us we've seen that charge sheet, what he has been charged for, the 6 counts. We've seen it. If you see the progression of, Osele Lojo bye-bye, it is in contravention to sections of the law. Osele Lojo bye-bye, this is what it means. You did this one, it could cause breach of peace and this, and you posted this. It's a progression. Even from the charge sheet alone, you should be able to see that they have already built a case against you. The charge sheet was showing you how your conduct led to the attack, led or can now be qualified as cyber stalking or cyber bullying, can now be qualified as capable of causing breakdown of peace in the society. They have shown a pattern from that charge sheet alone. If I have that charge sheet alone, without going through the list of evidences, I already know that for all these things they have been able to establish here, in this list here, all they need is just one video, one publication of all these things. They have proven a pattern already. And that's what they need to prove intent here. Intent is what you have in mind. And because we cannot know what you have in mind, we will look at your conduct or your silent attitude, your disposition over a period of time. Then intent will be inferred from that. So it is clear from this charge sheet that you have been going about online maligning this person. So you cannot turn around and say it's been taken out of context. Number 1 is taken out of context. Okay, Mabinu. Number 2, taken out of context. Okay, okay. Number 3, taken out of context. No, not likely. It shows that this is a career. This is what you want to do. This is your intention. There is malice in it. There is an end to it. If you now want to look at it, whether leading to now some other actions or retrospectively to some actions you've performed in the past, everything now lines up. The first thing you would do when you came out into this issue from, what's it called now? Twitter, was to post a nude image, ascribing it to Wunmi. After then, you went on and on, describing her with all sorts of unprintable names, accusing her of different things, displaying her passport photograph, passport data page, and all that. So if you now look at everything you've said, retrospectively, if you now attach it to the action you took the first time you came up on this case with the explicit content you posted, you should see that you are working with a pattern. You're working with a determined end. You are trying to get a story out here. You're working an angle here. And that is what the police, from this sheet alone, they've been able to establish. Of course, they will prove the evidence, and part of that evidence ni phone to log back sílẹ̀. Business line ni ó bá wà lórí ẹ̀, it is an evidence because you use that phone in committing some of these atrocities. That phone is instrumental in you committing some of these atrocities. And you now think all they have against you is just the words they quoted. And you thought they quoted it out of context. They will show you the full video. They will show you how it relates to the other ones you have said and how it communicated into you now posting that passport data page and tracing it back to the action you took by posting that content, nude content. Olóògbọ́ni, o máa gbọ́n one way or the other, say. Ẹ jẹ́ á continue. Sister Temi, are you there?
While we wait for Sister Temi, I think the funnest of it all was when he said everything is posted. He posted with evidence. So his evidence are the things that's already posted on his pages. That's what he's trying to say. I don't think this guy understands I don't think he understands what the issue is. He doesn't seem to understand it. They said you posted somebody's passport. They are saying the evidence is with the thing that you posted, that they're not worried about what you posted. They were worried about the caption or whatever you put under it. I'm sure he's just doing this for...
What lawful excuse would you have to post another person's passport data? What lawful excuse would you have to post a nude image, ascribing it to somebody, whether it is yes or not? What lawful excuse would you have?
Exactly. I think there's a new law that was passed by this government. Was it on last month or 2 months ago in relation to something like this, using somebody's data unlawfully or something like that. I think it falls under that remit. But it's just that it doesn't seem to... But I'm sure in his closet he'll be thinking he's in trouble. But I think he's just doing all of this for show off and drama to, keep their group... keep them energized, to keep happy. Yeah. Exactly. This is what they've always done.
It's a stupid boy, and it's a pity that we have some people, or maybe they don't. They should have some people around these people to come up where you're going to where you won't return, a place of no return. This journey you're embarking on, if you were to see the end of it, you will regret it.
I posted where Wunmi and Mohbad, they were playing, they were being playful, and it was like, make una see the way Wunmi is eating Mohbad. It showed that she's a violent partner, and I'm like, are you for real? Where are you getting it from?
That's part of the pattern too. That shows
so now you
want to put this person in bad light.
You will say you are misunderstood. They took it out of context. When you specifically put out that statement so that you will put this girl in a bad light. So it's a calculated attempt. It's not you are misquoted. It's not that you are taken out of context. Hello? No. You know what you are doing. You are calculating and you know what you are doing. You were building it, just like Mr. Pythagoras said. You were building it layer upon layer upon layer, just to arrive at a particular junction in order to malign this girl. So you know what you are doing. Oh yeah, and when there was a video, it said they went to the court of they went to the probate court. They changed name for property. Mohbad is worth 1 billion naira. He was just saying all sorts of jargons, just to put it in people's mind, in his gullible followers' mind, in order for them to have a bad intention or bad thought towards this particular girl, Wunmi. So you know what you are doing. You know. Don't come and give me that crap that you are taking out of context. Go and tell that.
And that is what actually establishes defamation. You are posting things that you know that are untrue. It's not like you are not sure if they are true or not. This one you know it's untrue. and you're posting it, and when your attention is brought to it, you double down and say, well, it's
taken out of context.
Yeah, the likes and comment. I think it's a drug. It's now a drug. It should be like the way they treat people for drugs and alcohol, opioids and all those things. Likes and comments is now the new drug. People should now be treated for these things.
It's intoxicating.
Exactly.
It's intoxicating, to be honest. And you will not know when to stop. You will not know when to stop.
Hey, Sister Temi, I think she's busy.
To be honest, because I don't know. Video go. You know, I go to fair tongue. I think pé yín látàrọ̀.
Ìbẹ́lẹ̀ ti sọ̀kalẹ̀, ẹ ti ń pè mí látàrọ̀. Sorry.
At the end of the day, the welfare officer of courts that we Nigerians are looking up to brought a cancer lab upon giving them weeks. Among women's intel side, they brought a lab that does not conduct tissue-based. I posted all those with evidence. So if a welfare officer of a court can drop a cancer lab, even despite giving them weeks, does that mean compromise? Like, as a normal woman being, as a Nigerian, what will you think about the court system? So like, but we have to, like, because courts have to always prove we Nigerians, right? Like that, we Nigerians can always come to them for justice, right? So this is my first court case. I know what I believe, and I know people know what's right. The law knows what harassment is, what intimidation is, and what bullying is. Now again, you need to understand that Omo missing I didn't show at the police station when I was there. A lawyer came. At the courts, Omo missing I didn't show. A lawyer came, said he is a representative, said Wunmi is sick, said he's at the police station that Wunmi is sick. But Wunmi, I come and see Wunmi there, she don't travel out, she there abroad. Go in court, Wunmi is sick. Omo missing here, his way representing is sick. But in real life, she's abroad.
Ó ti sọ̀rọ̀ tán rubbish ló dẹ̀ ń sọ. Ọmọ mi Cynthia need to be in the court. Ọmọ mi Cynthia Aloba does not need to be in the court with you. She is a witness for the prosecution. She doesn't need to be there when you're being read your charges. Eventually, there will come a time that the prosecution will need her in the court. Even if at that point she couldn't make it to the court, she will still send her representative. If they need to take statement from her or put her into the witness box, there are alternatives to that. But of course, she will be there at that time. So you don't need Omomi Cynthia Aloba to be at the police station with you because Olopaloma investigate. She has submitted a petition. She has written a statement to support that petition. The police has investigated that petition and they found some evidence that they can charge you with, and they have done that. Ọmọ mi ò need láti wà níbẹ̀ to do any other thing. She has done her part. The case is now between you and the state, the commissioner of police. And those are the people you should be facing right now. Leave Ọmọ mi out of your mouth. Ọmọ mi has no business with you at this point. Tí prosecution bá ní díẹ̀ láti wá testify sí some of those things tó sọ pé ṣẹlẹ̀ sóhun. Ó máa wà ń bẹ̀ láti testify sí. Tí àwọn evidence yẹn náà bá dẹ̀ wà enough gan, they can even be overwhelming that they don't even need a testimony at all. But it depends on how the case goes. So gbogbo ìyá àtàmọ̀ nìyẹn. It might be your ignorance. It might be because you're not knowledgeable. And that's why you're thinking these things are important. Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó ń tamọ̀ yìí, they are nothing at all. Kò ní ọ̀kan ṣe pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀. Yes, this might be your first law case. This might be your first case. Eventually, this will be the one you will learn with. One way or the other, one thing I'm certain, one thing I'm sure of is that before the end of this case, you will become a motivational speaker. That one, I'm sure of it. So, video yẹn ti tán àbí?
Yeah, Ogami, when he was saying,
They cannot play more. So let's move.
Mr.
We don't know.
Oh, no, tó bá fẹ́ play mi kàn fi pé ó ti sọ nǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ. I think the last part ibi tó ti kàn ó kàn sọ ọ̀rọ̀ kìíní. Ibi tó pa mí lẹ́rìn Mr. Pythagoras tó sọ pé kìíní Wunmi Cynthia Adébánjọ wọ́n pé ṣebí àgbákò ló máa ń pè tẹ́lẹ̀. Like, where is the energy? I was expecting like I understand Ogami. Wow, what's going on? Like, am I on the wrong page? Like, what happened to Agbako?
Ó gbàgbé àwọn lingo ẹ̀ ni.
Okay, ó gbàgbé àwọn lingua franca. Okay, ó ti yé mi Ogami. When it was like, even Wunmi that petition me, she's not in court. I'm like, are you daft? Are you daft? Wunmi don't need to be there. What do you need her for? Wunmi don't need to be there. The nurse is in court. Why is Wunmi not there? What do you need Wunmi for? Are you the prosecutor that will tell when Wunmi should come to court? Did the prosecutor tell you that they called Wunmi? Wunmi did not show up. Kiniti, the person you should be facing is the person who is the complainant against you, and that is the commissioner of police. You don't need Wunmi. Why are you coming where Wunmi was not there? What's your business with that? Am I on the wrong page? Where is the energy? Where you be saying Agbako lomo yen? You should have keep up the energy. You get what I'm saying, Immunizer? You should have keep up the energy. The ignorance of the law is not an excuse, though, in case you don't know. Oh, lè sọ pé mi mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ni o, ìjọba òfin ò mọ̀ yẹn o. No. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Okay, Ogami, kí ni next thing like? Kí ni next topic bye?
Order of mandamus.
Favorite topic mi lẹ́gbẹ́ mi lẹ́yìn o. Favorite topic mi lẹ́gbẹ́ mi lẹ́yìn o.
Àwọn ọ̀gá wa o. Mr. Pythagoras.
Yẹmí Ṣítù, ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. Ẹ ra mà.
Okay, Ogami, yes. Proceed o.
So, number one bó ni mo gbọ́ ibi tá mo rí the last time tí mo rí Yomi, he was jubilating. And I thought Canada won the World Cup or something. Maybe he was happy in Tokyo. But yeah, one way or the other, the Canadian government can decide to put asylum seeker in the category of Yomi. Because Canada won the World Cup, we will approve your claim and you become citizen or something. I thought that was it until I learned that it was just because a judgment was reserved till September for his application to get an order of mandamus. No, and I was wondering. Yes, Chubby me.
Wanted to talk. Yes, I wanted to say it was an application for the mandamus to be granted. They said and they said that will give them the power to control the police. Will give them all authority to tell the police what to do. So
that's the misconception. Maybe not misconception.
Ogami, I think he was jubilating because the other person that wants to join, what his application was refused. That was why he was jubilating and thanking God. Not really because the judgment is in. There's somebody one Shegun abi what that one.
But Mr. Pythagoras rhetorical question on Beresha. He knows the answer and I was just being sarcastic now.
Yeah. So because I was wondering how stupid your make can be. That okay, everything is now kumbaya. If he can believe that in his head, I want to perfect everything. No, gbogbo ẹ ti set yo. Ó ti di tó bá fi máa di September o. Kọ́dẹ̀ gbé ọ̀dà lé òun lọ́wọ́ ni o. But then, even the order of mandamus itself, what will it do? What is the purpose of the order? Let's even say Yomi will get it for the sake of this argument at this point in time. Even if they get that order, what can that order do? What is the purpose of that order? Those are the issues these people should be looking at first. But people usually fall for these tricks, these theatrics, these display of stupidity by these actors. When they come up and tell them stuff and they sugarcoat it or they underlay some, misinformation, they don't go back to the information itself. Order of mandamus itself is just to compel the authority to do their legal duty, to perform their legal duty. That is what the order is for. Any other thing outside that is foul. You can bring 1 million requests to the courts. The court will only grant the order in line with what the order is meant to do. And the court will even grant the order only when there are no other remedies available. It's not something the court grants takes lightly. It's not something the court dishes out like you're dishing out Christmas present or something. Even if you get everything right, if all the stars are lining up, the court will only grant it to you if that is the only remedy, if there are no other remedies available to the issues you're raising. You have said the police have not because yes, the duty of the police is to investigate a crime. That is their duty. They are not there to prosecute. So if you have not come to the court and say, court, the police investigation is not adequate, please give us an order of mandamus to compel them to do, because that's what it's doing, to do their legal duty. What is their legal duty? Investigate. The court will have some questions for you. Even if they don't hear anything back from the other parties. Just like the police have decided to ignore this their stupid venture. They don't want to waste manpower. They don't want to waste hours when they can be spending those hours doing some other meaningful things. They don't want to spend it sitting in court with this buffoon called Yomi Fabiyi. So they ignored everything, which they are right to, which they are allowed to. But that still does not give them the free pass. Because at the end of the day, the judge must rule in line with the evidences available to him and in line with what the law states. You can have all the evidences. I can bring evidence and the other person is not there to tell them no, that evidence is actually relating to something else. But still, even though if those evidences are available to the judge still has to tie them to what the law is saying. If the law is saying you cannot use this evidence under this circumstance, then the law prevails, not the evidence. No matter how much you line everything up, the law will still prevail. And what can the judge do again? The judge can only compel the police to do their legal duty. If the judge can find out clearly that, yes, they did not do their duty. So the question you can help me ask everybody, did the police investigate or not? Did the police investigate or not? From the processes, the ones available to me, I don't have the full process, this court process with me, but from the ones we can find available, even your argument, Yomi Fabiyi, is that, yes, so my lord, the police investigated, they carried out a purported investigation into this case. We found out that the investigation is not done well, it's not adequate, that the president or the presidency gave them an order to reinvestigate. They ignored presidency's directive and they transferred the case back to Lagos. So, my Lord, please grant us another and compel the police to go back to the case, including to investigate Mohbad's father, to investigate Mohbad's wife, to investigate Mohbad's dog, Mohbad's puppy, and all those ones that they have in their processes. Those are the arguments. So from those arguments alone, without even hearing from the police here, they have agreed by their own admission. They said the police carried out an investigation. I bet it is inadequate. So the point here, as the police carried, have they done their legal duty? Because that is the point for discussion. That is what the court wants to examine. There was a legal duty. You have to prove that the police has a legal duty. Those are the things you need to prove for any order of mandamus to be successful.
In fact, Ogami,
Yomi
said the judge specifically asked him, have an investigation been carried out on this particular case, which is the subject matter? He said yes. So your common sense should tell you the judge know where she's going. If the judge know where she's going. So I don't understand. But we will educate them. We will educate some people who don't know the law. Let's help them. I want to talk about law school like that.
Based on even their own argument too, because I don't know the full details of the case, but based on arguments, based on the processes available to us, we're already saying that you have a failed case with you. Because it's not a matter of, oh, I don't like the way the police have investigated. As the police, or did the police investigate this issue? That is the main question. And what the judge or what the court will be looking for before granting this order is that, number one, this person, they have a clear legal duty. They owe a legal duty. Number one, you have to prove that. Yes, yes, the police has a legal duty by virtue of the law that brought them into existence. They have a legal duty to investigate. So, I pass the test here. The next question will be, has that duty been performed? I'll leave that to everybody to answer, including Yomi. That's where it's not the question is, did they do it to your satisfaction? Has that duty been performed? That'll be the next question. Then the question that will follow it, which they were trying to cover up. And from his own explanation too, because I was here listening that day, the judge knows where he's going. For the judge to say, "Oya ogbe lawyer te wà nínú bí tó bá jẹ́ nǹkan tó sọ lóòótọ́ nìyẹn o, torí òun ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ o," going by his word pé kó lọ research lórí ẹ̀, kó kí gbogbo wọn wo fóònù according to Yomi Fabiyi. Yomi Fabiyi ò mọ meaning nǹkan tí judge yẹn ṣe ń bẹ̀, because that comes to the third question. And the third question is that, do you have sufficient legal interest to bring the action? Meaning locus. Is there a locus standing? So if the judge is telling the lawyer, gbogbo àwọn lawyer tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ẹ lọ research lórí case yìí, surely standing láti lè bring case yìí go in the first place. Because at the end of the day, if the order is even granted and you have no locus standing, locus standing is not just because I'm an NGO is there to stand for the right of Kiniko. They have to see. If your standing is not standing, then the whole case, the whole suit becomes it becomes a poison to the judge. They cannot even touch it. Just like if the court doesn't have jurisdiction, they won't touch it, because whatever decision that comes out for it will become null and void eventually. So that's what the judge told you there. Research. Well, that would be the next question. Okay. Any police in illegal duty, good. Have they performed their job, their duty? Of course, you guys are going to say no. Okay, let's assume no. The next thing will be, this person bringing this action, do they have legal interest, enough legal interest, local standing to bring this action? They will answer that question.
So you need to add too. They are going to ask too that this present case, is it before a competent judge as at today? No way. Is that case presently before a sitting judge? If it's presently before a sitting judge, your order of mandamus is going to fail. Because section 174 of the Federal Constitution and section 211 of the state constitution state that it's only the Attorney General of a state or of the federation that has the power to conduct, to take over, and to discontinue any criminal prosecution. So you need to educate yourself.
Exactly, because if you're asking them to start a fresh investigation, let's say no investigation has been conducted according to you, but meanwhile there is a nurse going through trial based on the conclusion of this investigation, but then you're asking them to disregard everything, it means you're asking them to discontinue the case in court. It means you are saying the court should usurp the power of the court that is presently hearing the case of the nurse and discontinue that case, and they should start all over. So there are a lot of legal intertwined stuff here that, yes, the brain of your mule comprehend no anyway, but at least our lawyers here, they should know a little bit better.
Yeah, Pythagoras. Yeah. I'm on the road. I hope you can hear me more. So, all right. So what? Pythagoras has explained it really well. So, what Yomi is trying to do is trying to be smart. So to qualify his sufficient legal interest, he's claiming to be Mohbad's friend, right? And then he quoted, they are using the Gani Fawemi and Delegiwa's case, where Gani Fawemi claimed, of course, and he was the friend and lawyer to Delegiwa. In the trial court, they didn't give it to him. He went to appeal, he lost. He had to go to the Supreme Court before it was granted. Now, back to their second case that they are using to support this application. They are using Gani Fawemi versus the Inspector General of Police. The first case was 1987. The Inspector General of Police case is 2002. So that one, they told Gani that, no, you don't have enough legal interest. You can't just say the police should go and investigate, because one, the court made it clear that the job of the police to investigate is even discretionary. You cannot tell, the police would decide what to investigate, just like the DPP would decide cases to prosecute. So in that case, they also talked about the president, and the court said the president cannot control the police. The police should be independent and they can decide what to investigate. So Gani now tried to use the 1987 case that he got granted. Supreme Court refused it and said, no, you don't have serious legal interest in this matter. So it was denied. So they quoted the two cases, and I'm so surprised that do they not see that the second case, Gani was refused because he didn't have local standing. Yeah. You know, so sometimes I don't know how they prepare these cases.
Sorry to cut you. The case of Gani Fawemi and he was granted because as at that time the case was not before a judge, it was still under investigation, because Gani was saying that one of them should be
that's the 2002 one.
I'm saying that the reason why that case was successful was because that case was still under investigation. The case has not moved from the police to the judiciary, and the problem these people are having is that the three arms of government, they are independent. One cannot interfere in the other. The order of mandamus is saying that the wheel of justice is being stalled because a particular individual, a particular arm of government is not doing what they should do. But in this particular case, there is no inference, there is no way that the wheel of justice has been tampered with. In this case, the investigation has moved from the police and it has moved to the judiciary. So how are you going to prove to the judge, Yomi Fabiyi, that the wheel of justice is being tampered with or is being slowed down? That is what the order of mandamus for. And you cannot use the order of mandamus to mandate an arm of government to direct them on how to do their job, who they should interrogate, who they should not interrogate. Even the president, which is the head of the execution arm of government, does not have that power. This is simple, common sense.
Bene. But as the best friend to the dead person, uncle.
So Bene, I think you mixed it. Oh, sorry, fellas, go on. Okay. Yeah, so the 2002 case was the one with the versus the IGP, and it was about Tinubu, that Gani wanted Tinubu investigated.
Yes,
so the trial court, the case was not investigated because the trial court said that he had immunity because he was the governor.
No,
so he went to appeal. No, hold on. No. This one went to appeal. The appeal agreed that the governor could be investigated, but not prosecuted.
Yes.
So they didn't give him the thing. He now went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court is the one that now broke it down that even if the police that they have discretionary powers to investigate. So there's no way you can mandate them to go and carry out an investigation. So that one, he didn't get it. He got the 1987 one, the one with the Delegiwa one. But the Tinubu one, he didn't get.
Because they said it was still under investigation. It was not in court.
Yeah. Do you know that they granted that mandamus at the time? Just like you and Pythagoras said that it is still down to the AG. Do you know that in 2004, 2005, another group went to the court and they were still granted. So they haven't, even though they granted that mandamus, since AG has not investigated it, some people went 2023 again. It's still not investigated. So all this noise, even if you get it, it's still down to the AG to decide, do we want to pursue this case or not? Which is what I don't think they understand.
And the escapade, I don't know if you were there one day when I was saying that, Mr. Pata, one day when I was saying that Yomi is petitioning the wrong persons. The person you should be petitioning or whatever you should be writing petition to is the AG. As far as Mohbad case is concerned, Oti Kro Lowolopa. That arm of government, that ship has sailed. So you are just backing the wrong tree. I've been saying it for the longest time. This case, Oti Kro Lowolopa, Oti Wakusi or AG. AG Loni finance because the constitution has bestowed that power on him. AG nìkan ni ó ní agbára láti discontinue case o, láti stop o, láti amend anything. Ọwọ́ AG ló wà sí. Agbára yẹn ti kúrò lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́pàá. There is nothing the police can do. The police, you had all the time in the world to bring whatever evidence you have before the court, before the police, when the investigation was still going on, and you decide not to do it because you don't have anything. And now that is no longer within their power, why are you going after the judiciary arm of government? You are not even going after the judiciary arm of government because you are still going after the police.
Bene, what you are saying now is that, okay, you are telling us now that Yomi has failed woefully. But
he knows now.
But wait, Bene, you said that is chasing the wrong person. But from the beginning of this case, what have they been chasing? Is it not the wrong person?
It's just that this one is a landmark.
Where they stop from.
Continue.
I won't fail you.
And like Mr. Pythagoras said, order of mandamus is not mandatory. It's discretionary. You should go and Google what it is. That means they mandate anybody go fún ẹ. In fact, tó bá lọ gba order of mandamus yẹn tó lọ́pàá bá náà wọ́n refuse kò sí kan tó lè ṣe. Ọ̀gá mi.
A pe Ọlọ́run lẹ́jọ́. Tó bá ti bọ́ ọlọ́pàá fà.
Ọlọ́pàá fà wá gbé wọn lọ sọ́dọ̀ Ayílála àbí wá gbé wọn lọ tọ́lọ̀
ìyẹn bá lọ sí inquest kọ́wọ́ òun rà bí ọwọ́ àkèrè yẹn náà.
ó sà ó dá.
Yomi àtàwọn lọ́ọ̀yà mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń ṣe. They are just using that to buy time. One more.
Yomi is just using it to make money. Yomi came out last week and told you guys how many $1,000 that he needs for his case.
Mommy, Yomi, one at a time. So I'm going to I'm going to be.
He came out last week or 2 weeks ago, telling them that he needs is it $17,000 for his case in Canada. And yet he's telling you guys that, oh, there's still something somewhere that they can talk to the general, what is it, court, they are in court for this, they are in court for that. And he's telling you guys that it is money that they will use. I'm just going back to where Benet said they are chasing the wrong thing. It's not, Yomi knows what he's chasing, but it's just the gullible followers that they don't understand, and they are still chasing the wrong thing. Yomi is targeting money. Money is what Yomi is there for. But he knows that these people, they are so stupid from the beginning.
But don't they have lawyers on that side?
Where's the lawyer? Maxwell.
Kiri kan di law, follow the law. Abi
Ibo le ri follow the law.
Ṣé wọn ní lawyer ńgbà tó tún máa lọ gba lawyer rí nǹkan tó lọ gbà ni.
Every one of them, they are just giving themselves titles. So.
No, they are
just giving themselves titles. I don't think they have any law.
No, even that follow the law that been follow the law. Àtijọ́ tá ti mú follow the law so won't be by. Enjoy Mari follow the law mo ti pẹ́.
Because even escapade, in fact, the case that is making reference to, which is the Ghanaian, what the floor case already. Wrong. That is the wrong president to even use. The case law don't know yet go the floor case already. I don't know.
You know the other mistake they made. You know the other mistake that they made is that in Ghani's case, the one that was granted, because he sought for fiat because the government wasn't going to investigate, so he had to get a fiat. You know why he did that? Yeah. Because he wanted the government, the police to confirm that they were not investigating. You need to confirm to the judge that the police have said they are not investigating, which Yomi does not have. But what Yomi is now trying to do is he now said they were told verbally, orally. How did he put it in that thing? That how can you take oral thing? Who is the person that told you? How can it be oral? If they are going to write to you, it has to be on a document, which you then present to the court, whatever they say. Even his exhibit, he said the presidency then sent a directive to the IG to investigate the matter. He now said then, which caused his own team to write a letter to the IG or the commissioner or whatever. He now attached his own letter as exhibit. Where is the letter of the directive? He didn't put that there.
It was not there.
The guy is just trying to trick the judge, and he doesn't know that the person.
See, common sense, escapade. If the president was to write a letter, it will be addressed to the AG, not even to the police yet.
Yeah.
It will be addressed to the AG, and the AG will definitely, maybe the AG will copy the Inspector General of Police. Because case it were pending it before a judge. Are you trying to usurp the are you trying to usurp the sovereignty of a court, of a sitting court? Because that's what you are trying to do. You are trying to change the will of justice. Because case what one in court, so what's up there? Court like, come on now.
The thing is he's even attacking the integrity and the impartiality of the police. If the president was going to tell the police to take the case, they are not going to make it a public document. It'll probably be a memo or maybe even a call, because the president is not supposed to tell the IG who to investigate or would not investigate.
Who not investigate?
It is not. You can't do that. For him to now say he has a letter That one is, I'm sure the judge would ask him, where is the letter you are talking about?
But ṣé Yomi gan ṣe government in school ṣá? Because so much government, now I'm the 3 arm of the government, none is superior than the other.
Yeah, but even though as the police is under the executive, the president is not allowed to influence what they investigate.
To influence whatever they want to do.
Yeah, because that means if they want to investigate the son of the president, he can tell them no. It's not, that's conflict of interest. Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know. In fact, Mr. Pythagoras, share what affidavit here. Yomi could not produce one evidence as to the reason why he felt the investigation was not properly carried out. He couldn't produce one.
See, that's one of the place where they are, what's it called? Their case will even fail. They are not logical, they are not thinking. I see one or two nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ tẹ́ bá lè pick dáadáa ẹ máa tún kọ́ àwọn tricks kankan. See, they came to the judge saying that the police conducted an investigation. They requested for the report of the investigation. The police did not give them the investigation. So because of that, they determined that the investigation is not properly done. They went to the president asked for an investigation, the police refused this and that, and they came to court. So now they are telling the court, please order them to conduct another investigation because the investigation they did in the first place was not properly conducted. Based on what evidence? You don't even have the reports. You can do an FOI, freedom of information, you can request for that. You did not even request for this report officially to sue them to even get this report first. Because it is in that report you'll be able to say, look at the lacunas here, look at the gaps, look at what they didn't do, look at what they did. That report alone is what you will use to even prove to any judge that, see, look at their report, the investigation they did, it was not conclusive, or it was not detailed, or it was not adequate. But you're going to the judge that the investigation is not adequate based on what? These are the questions the judge will ask. The judge will ask himself, well, not you, because you've submitted your argument, you've submitted everything now. The judge has decided, you know what, let me take this case back, let me review it, and let me come back and give you a decision on it. And when the judge is reviewing this, these are the questions that we keep ringing in the judge's mind. That, okay, they're saying their investigation is not adequate. Where's the evidence to that? Because when you allege, when you assert, you have to prove. If you assert and you're not proving, it becomes nothing. It becomes more like a beer parlor jabs, beer parlor talk. That's what it becomes. So once the judge sees that one, oh, there's an assertion here, and the judge looks at all the file, he couldn't find the proof to it, that one will be discarded automatically. So if you have said they've not done an investigation and you cannot show anything, in fact, your own argument, you submitted that they did an investigation, so that one is removed from your points. Oh, the investigation is not adequate. They couldn't find the evidence, the proof to show that, that investigation is missing something out. They throw that away too. You're not compelling them that the court should go and investigate, they should compel police to investigate Joseph Aloba, or the 24 people in the house, or Wunmi and all that. The court will now tell you, we are sorry, our duty is to adjudicate. We are not we don't have any investigatory power. Under the law, it will be ultra vires. It will be jumping or poking our nose into other people's business. If we are now telling them how to conduct an investigation, who to investigate, who to talk to, who not to talk to, and how to conclude an investigation. That will be the judge trying to stick his nose in other people's business. That will now be the question the judge will now be asking, that why should I do it? And those are part of Yomi sọ pé òun friend of Mohbad, mo gbọ́ in passing, mo gbọ́ dáadáa. Is that part of his assertions?
Best friend. Yes, that was what he said. Mohbad was his best friend.
What they did is that It's even funny. Let me call. I'll call back. I'll talk again.
No, Mo, share and Shereni, is it part of the process? Aboko on your online?
No, it's in the paper. So what Kafuani now? That was what they put in.
So that's what they put in. You know what they did?
Yeah.
They filed it as the people that are complaining, the people that are reacting to, they're asking for the. I'm in a car with my friend, so he's on the phone as well. So I need to wait for him to finish, and then I'll talk.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Because that'll be funny. Yeah, I see where they might be trying to sneak in something. Maybe because they already emphasized the issue.
They said personal friend. He said Mohbad was his personal friend. Yes, want to correct him in the comment section. Personal friend.
Yeah, I get what they are trying to do. If that's actually part of the court process, because they already envisage that there will be an issue with locus. With their legal interest. The judge will question that why are you the one bringing this case? Yes, look, or maybe there's something wrong. Maybe the court needs to do something. Maybe the police needs to do something. Why are you the one bringing it? What is your deal with this? Yes, they want to say, oh, he's my friend, so I have some kind of interest.
But they are following Gani Fawemi playbook. But these people, they are so daft. They are following Gani Fawemi. Hey, God. They are not even innovative. They are not innovative in any shape or form. What practically look case Gani Fawemi, and they are following it step by step by step.
No, Bene, I would not agree that one practically local. Yomi Oka story to sọ fún Yomi mi like kíkà Yomi Oka.
Okay, lawyer.
Lawyer go fún wọn já sí ní kékèké. Àwọn story tí Yomi ti gbọ́ láyé
Yomi wá já okay pé ní Yomi draft gan ni.
No one put together. Yomi tẹ́ pé part of their case in court ẹ má bínú ní pé àlè wọlé ó dẹ̀ nọkọ pa. That is part of the total failure nìyẹn.
Chubi mi ẹni sùúrù for you people news flash ọ̀gá mi ṣé I believe pé nínú affidavit Yomi kọ Yomi ò kọ àdúrà ṣàtẹ̀gbìn síbẹ̀ Yomi ò mention 3 second video.
3 seconds video go sí bẹ́ẹ̀.
Kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ o. To know that Yomi Fabiyi know that claim of 3 second video has been thoroughly investigated and has been discarded. Yomi mọ̀. Ó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé tóun bá fi lè raise yẹn under oath is going to be a problem. So it's supposed to be pé Yomi mọ̀ game tó ń play. Yomi is crafty. Yomi is how will I put it? Old lady Yomi.
It's true. What Benet is saying is true.
Kò sọ 3 second video ẹ lọ ka the British bí akẹni pé ẹ bí akẹni pé akẹni kan fún láti
kò lè sọ yẹn because number one ó ti mọ̀ pé òun ò lè padà sí Nigeria for now tó bá introduce yẹn sínú case yẹn he has to come and testify to it. They have to examine and cross-examine him for that. So, and once he's unable to do that, toss case in a way. So he wants to save the case at least to determination to get in September. Of course, Leoshe include that on constitution directly because they want to hear from him also. And where his case will also fail, ni èyí tẹ́ sọ pé ó pera ní personal friend yẹn. Yes, maybe kò bá tiẹ̀ ní chance there if he had sued as Yomi Fabiyi or whoever is claiming to be Mohbad's friend. But the case was brought under the NGO, Break the Silence and Break the Bank and Break Their Brain Foundation. The case was brought under that foundation, not under Yomi Fabiyi or whoever momentum claim pé òun Mohbad's friend. So the legal interest, the local standing the court will be looking at is the local standing of the NGO, not of Yomi Fabiyi. The court will be asking that, oh, this Break the Silence Foundation, no, what is your purpose here, really? What are you? They will look at the constitution first. They will look, oh, is this even this NGO registered? When are they registered? What is their, what do you call it now? Is the article of association or memorandum of association or the constitution of that non-governmental organization, what they are doing. We have some non-governmental organization that deals with environmental issue, we have other ones, different things. So they will look at, okay, this one, is their job pursuit of justice? Have they been doing it? Because, see, order of mandamus is not something you just because the court recognized that it's something that should not be taken with levity. So the court will not just grant it to anybody. They will examine, do you have the legal standing? Why do you want this? Why do you? Of course, NGO can sue. But number one, are you even incorporated? Are you active? Are you genuinely engaged in justice advocacy? Yes, if all these things are there, yes, maybe that might help. Then the court will go further. What are even the objectives of this NGO itself? Is it to promote justice? Is it to advocate for victims' rights? Is it to promote accountability? All these things will be all the questions that the judge will be asking. So the judge, if you cannot answer all these questions to show that, oh, this is what we do, this is what we have been doing. We are not just here because of this. We are not just here to waste your time. We are not just here because nobody else is asking. Then yes, you can have the local standing become stronger at that point. But you still go back. You now still have to go back to other things, other questions in your process. The questions the judge will now have to ask because the respondent, which is the police here, they have refused to show up. The judge will now have to do that mental argument. The judge will be the one sitting alone, putting up your own question, give us order of mandamus, and the judge will act as the police. We have investigated, my lord. Why are you going to grant anything against us again? What more investigation do you want us to do? Are you going to tell us how to do our job now? We have interviewed witnesses. We have done, what is it called? We have done examinations. We have questioned people. DPP have even become involved in this thing. Forensic examination has been conducted. Autopsy has been done. Toxicology has been done. Criminal charges. Two autopsies have been done. Criminal charges have been eventually filed against the culprit here.
Yeah.
My lord, what more do you want us to do?
The side nurse have given a testimony as well,
yeah,
which was corroborated by witnesses at the house.
Well, Mr. Pythagoras, I don't know if this matters. When all this argument between them started, Bossman said that it was that at the initial stage that they told Yomi, and Yomi knows, but Yomi told them to come out and still say, yes, the 3 seconds video is still standing. So I'm just putting it back to where you said, if he has to present that at the court, that means he has to come to defend it. But in the order that they have told him, and he has already agreed, can he still bring that up?
I'm get the question that actually me.
So the police, at the initial stage when he was crying about this 3 seconds video, they told them already, and Bossman too confirmed that they were told that there is nothing in this. He has gone there, he has watched it, there is nothing in there that concerns that death. And they agreed, but Bossman now said when he was talking to Yomi, Yomi said, yes, he knows that there is nothing pertaining to Mohbad's death in that 3 seconds video, but they should just continue that he will continue to say it regardless. So Bossman agreed with him, just because of his own stupidity too, that he was thinking, okay, maybe something will come out of it, that they should just continue to talk about it and say that, oh, it's still standing, the police they are still going to use it as evidence. So I'm not going back to where you said, if he should present that, they would ask him to come and defend that video. And because of his asylum, whatever that is doing in Canada, he would not be able to come back to
fact,
Nigeria.
even though it was in Nigeria, should be me. The fact that the police have comforted him that there was nothing there, which he agreed to, kò lè yọjú. And that was why he was
That's
careful
what I
not
wanted
to
to get.
include it in his affidavit. Yomi know what he's doing.
Okay, that's what I wanted to get. That
Yeah.
can he still had it? Okay, all right.
tó bá include here eventually o máa ní láti come under the witness o máa ní láti wà cross examine lé lórí o máa ní láti fi affidavit sílẹ̀ lé lórí and once tó bá dẹ̀ ti parọ́ ń bẹ̀ and all that ó mọ̀ pé ẹ̀wọ̀n na prison but again for now ó ti di ewúrẹ́ jẹlẹ́jẹlẹ́ he can't come back home. He cannot do all of that, and he doesn't want that holding the stuff. He doesn't want that to expose him, because if they now throw the case away because Yomi is not there to testify or something to swear an affidavit and all that, then one kilo deti ole wale, then it becomes open pé ó ti sá dànù ni. So gbogbo yẹn ló ń try láti prevent.
In fact, ọ̀gá mi kò include AI chat sí evidence. Yomi could not present one evidence. One, just okay, one ti pọ̀ jù, half ti pọ̀ jù, quarter. I was reading the affidavit page by page by page. Àbí escape ṣé ìrẹ́ any evidence tó produce bí èmi ò dẹ̀ rí dáadáa because bí àmì dẹ̀ ti need the glasses ni. I was reading it page by page.
No, he didn't provide any.
None, he couldn't provide none. I was mo rò pé bí àdúrà chatted wà ní last page ni àbí AI video wà ní second to the last page ni. I couldn't find nothing. Anything, Josie, open your ears very well. The order of mandamus is to mandate a public officer to do his or her duties. It is not to tell a public officer how to carry out their duties. For example, if you witness a crime being committed or somebody committed a crime against you and you reported at the police station and they refuse to investigate, you can ask for an order of mandamus to mandate them to carry out that investigation, because the Police Act mandate them to investigate a case. Not you asking for an order of mandamus that, oh, they investigate the case, but the person that investigate did not stand very well. The person did not work very well. No.
The person didn't allow me fetch water in their
They didn't allow me to fetch water. No. Order of mandamus is not to tell a public officer how to carry out his or her duties. It's wrong. But about sọ fún yín, ẹ máa ṣagídí, and that's why the Nigerian police, if it's a waste of time, wọn ò ní yọjú. Wọn ò ní yọjú, they have better things to do. Wọn ò ní yọjú, they've read through it and they're like, F you, Yomi. Yeah, we are not going to waste our time on this nonsense. Because they know the game you are playing, Yomi Fabi. Because ọ̀gá mi wọ́n ní pé ọlọ́pàá ń bẹ̀rù nǹkan tọ́lọ́pàá ò fi yọjú nìyẹn.
Ọlọ́pàá ní gbogbo táìmù yẹn ni. Ayé ò yọ.
Ayé wá dà.
Ayé yẹn ò yọ. See, another thing they are relying on in their process is that, oh, another came for the investigation, the police ignored it. That's part of, from what I saw, that's part of what they brought before the judge, that the judge should determine that because of that, they believe the police they've not done their duty. That if another come for them to reinvestigate, and they are refusing to reinvestigate from that order, that so because of that, they have not done their job. That what's it called now? The judge should now force them to go and reinvestigate that matter. So on that one, yes, how simple. The judge will ask them, okay, which order, on what legal basis is that order of investigation issued, that directive, the investigation directive they called it. That on what stand, on what ground, on what legal basis was he issued? What authority? First, because you might think you're in for just a cruise. No, you are in for a tussle. Even though the police is not attending, okofun judge because the judge has to satisfy Ta ló ń pàtẹ́wọ́?
Bọ́sílẹ̀ má drop maxi fresh nítorí àwọn ló ń stream ẹ jẹ́ kí mi kàn bọ́lẹ̀.
Wọ́n ti wá sókè already. Mọ̀mí Yẹmí náà Mọ̀mí Yẹmí ti bọ́lẹ̀.
Mo bọ́lẹ̀ mo drop wọn fún invite wọn padà.
Okay.
The first thing the judge will have to do, the judge now will have to do the job of the police now. The job of whoever is supposed to come and represent the police. And the job will be, you cannot just tender an evidence that has not been authenticated. So the judge will have to review, that's your letter of reinvestigation, that's your directive from presidency. The judge has to look at the signature. It might look petty, but these are the things the judge have to do. Look at the authority on which it is written on. Is it the president, Ifunra Ilokonio, or be somebody in the presidency, or somebody, or one kitchen staff, or something? The source of it, the authority, the chain of custody. That is when the judge cannot decide, oh, okay, this letter, investigate. This letter is authentic. And even if that letter is now genuine and authentic, the next question will now ask that, is this letter, is the police legally required to reopen an investigation based on this letter? They will now look at the constitution of the act bringing about the police. Where do they get their orders from? Who can ask them to open, reopen, and close a case? Can anybody just from the presidency just tell them, case is jet and you're reopen it? That's what the judge now to examine. So, exhibition law for judge here. Judge will now examine it. That's when the judge can now consider, oh yes, they have a lawful order to reinvestigate an issue and they decided to ignore it. Okay, maybe based on that, yes, it looks like they don't want to do something. Let us force them to do it. So that one settles your issue of there was an order from presidency. At the end of the day, if we have the time, I don't know, I might even ask somebody near Abuja to request for all the processes. All the process for that are proceeding, including the affidavit, everything you filed.
I can send you the affidavit too.
If you ṣé kò máa ṣe ọmọ tó ń pè mí.
Àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀bù yìí ti pè yín. Don't guide me.
He dey your body.
Cherry, Ogami, and the funny part is that judicial assistant ló máa ṣiṣẹ́ yìí o. Judge come and àwọn judicial assistant yẹn ṣe mí gan. Àwọn judicial assistant yẹn ṣe mí.
Ẹ̀mí àfẹ́ bọ́.
You know some of my friends that we finished from law school, they are judicial assistants now. Ìgbà mi mo máa pè wọ́n bá 11 o'clock wọ́n sì wà lọ́fíìsì. Judge dẹ̀ ti lọ sílé, ó ti lọ sùn.
Ó gbọ́dọ̀ review ẹ̀ dáadáa kó má fi judge sí wàhálà.
Kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe mistake.
Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ kóòtù lónìí Bẹ̀nẹ̀ ẹ ṣáà máa expect papa shit wọ́n máa ti ka sórí ọwọ́ mo fi ń ṣáà
nígbà yẹn. Èmi ò ń gbọ́ bàbọ̀ yẹn mọ̀, mi ń gbọ́ mọ̀. Because as far as I'm concerned, that guy is not saying that. Because the thing there is that this is common sense. In fact, Ogami, if the judge missed the police investigation, a coroner sitting that took more than a year is enough for the judge to know that what should be done on this case was actually done. Pay coroner inquest last song, just the reading of the coroner sitting alone. I don't even think the judge even need to stress herself at all. So but anybody miss it, the police here, it was not well pronounced, it was not well affirmed. The fact that a coroner sitting took place for more than a year, witnesses were called upon.
Investigated the same matter.
No. Yomi, go and sit your ass down. Go and sit your ass down.
I can tell Yomi Fabiyi from everything available that your case will be thrown out and you will be ordered to pay court fees.
Oh. If you can learn about Yomi, I wish your people can see that affidavit. So they will see the nonsense that you found.
I want to go touch. I want to get my shoes on.
You've just wasted the court time. You've wasted everybody's time on this, and the police decided that no, we will not allow this buffoon to waste our time, and that's why they did not attend. That's why they did not put in any representation. Nípa ẹjọ́ lọ yanjú ẹ̀ láàrin ara yín, ẹ̀ ṣàlìwá náà wà ń lé wa. Nǹkan táwọn ọlọ́pàá fi ṣí nìyẹn pé yá come to my house, come and beat me now. Àti ṣe job wa. If this guy is saying we have not done enough, the onus is on him. Let him prove it. Let him show you that yes, so we didn't do enough, we didn't do our duty, or it was inadequate. Where's the evidence? None. You don't even have a report. And that's where you should have started from. If you're somebody who is truly interested in this case, you should be filing to even get that information first that we want this report. Once you now review that report, that's where you can now start determining, that's where you can now start pointing holes in their investigation. That is when you can now bring something actionable, something that the court can actually work with. That, okay, based on this thing, even from the police reports, even from their own admission, we can see that they didn't do a thorough job. And aside from all this, the other things you were asking from the court, they are not the things the court can give you. The court does not have the power to direct an investigation into specific people. The court doesn't have that power to say, oh yeah, about investigate àwọn ẹni báyìí báyìí. Take them a grant from power police, go and investigate benevolence for calling escapade sir. For having some things we don't understand with escapade. The court cannot do that. Even when you Pythagoras to say
wọn lóhùn mo ní mo máa mẹ́sẹ̀jì yẹn bá ní pẹ̀lú ní nọ́mbà yìí pé kò fẹ́ yín nìyẹn o ẹ má dá máa yẹn lóhùn ẹ má dá máa yẹn lóhùn ẹ dá máa wo máa yẹn ẹ máa wo máa yẹn escapade. And Ogami, please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that if there was actually a need for investigation, it would have been the judge of the coroner that would have suggested that. The only investigation she suggested was the bullying part, not even to the demise of Mohbad. It was only on the bullying part, because Joseph Aloba's team, they are used to making reference to that. Oh, shebi judge Jenna call investigate LIAT. She specifically said the case of harassment and bullying by the Malian record should be reinvestigated, not as to what by Mohbad. She 18 man dini anything to
benevolence. Procedurally speaking, their case is not even winnable, because it's like you going back to day one to go and rewrite the history of something. The police investigated this thing. They handed over to a court of competent jurisdiction, because coroner inquest is a court. And at that point, they had the jurisdiction to listen to that investigation and carry on with everything they did. And that court of competent jurisdiction came back with a decision, came back with a recommendation and a criminal charge or a criminal investigation, or a case was opened against the nurse from that. So you telling another court now, because there are processes to these things, the process should have been you asking for a judicial review, to nullify, to reopen the coroner's inquest. There are ways you can do that. If whatever the coroner's inquest has delivered in this case is not sufficient, maybe because you have other information, new leads as you will call it, you can now ask for a review. Another judicial panel will sit, High Court will sit and listen to whatever new evidence, whatever thing you have. They will listen to everything and they will decide that, okay, you didn't listen to this particular evidence or this testimony. Because of that, let's reopen that coroner's inquest. Let's quash whatever recommendation they have. Let's get a new one, or let's call it a day. That would have been the process. But you now going back to reinvestigation now, it will mean all the job, all the hard work of the coroner's inquest would have been thrown away into the trash. And it's not possible. The judge, it will be the judge stepping out of its power. The court stepping out of its power. Because it will effectively render the judgment of the coroner's inquest, the recommendation, it will effectively render it null and void if the judge grants any order of mandamus here. And that's why those are, just like many other things, that's part of the things that are working against you on this case. Apart from the fact that you don't follow the due process, you don't have any evidence, your argument is not sound enough, your logics are not, they're not sound. All these things are working against you. The judge again cannot compel investigation into specific people. So whatever you've had coming, whatever you have been rejoicing for, Joe, what's your name again? Yomi Fabiyi, is nothing. You're just playing, you're just showing off, you're just doing theater for your fans.
So
for the stupid ones.
Yeah. In fact, in some cases whereby a case is already in court, in fact, if there is a new evidence, you don't take it to the police, you take it to the AG's office. AG Loma discontinue case immediately and reinvestigation will start. AG Loma feed that procedure into action. TAG Oba share anything. Police, their hands are tied because that power has shifted from the police to the AG. So even to buy one fair that point, that person is at the point of pay. Oh, today we thought AG's office need whatever evidence you have, you will take it to. AG Loma put her into motion. Tomawa pay the IG for them to investigate by putting hold as to the case in court. Because the power as at now in Mohbad's case, listen carefully, Joseph Aloba's team. AG Loni Agbara. If you want to change the people, you have tangible evidence, you believe the wrong person is the person that is being charged, whatever evidence is, whatever thing that is before the court now is not tangible enough, you should be speaking to the AG. You should be speaking to the AG.
Yeah. Bene, please, I would like to ask you a question. Like recently, I think about 2 days ago, what's this lady's name? Comfy. She was reading out a petition that a petition has been filed to the Inspector General of Police concerning this case, that Ogungbe filed another petition to the IG that they should reinvestigate. So, are you okay, because she was saying it as if it has been granted. Okay, I think it was Tanzan that was analyzing it.
Oh, you believe Tanzan? Tanzan, I believe. Tanzan, I believe. Tanzan that he lives in Jupiter. Tanzan is not even on this earth with us. So that guy is in Jupiter. And Tanzan, let him believe.
Because now that you're talking about the AG, so that means all the things they are doing are just effort in futility.
As far as this case is concerned, Escapade, if I'm wrong, you can correct me. This case, Escapade, if I'm wrong, then correct me. Oh. As far as this case is concerned, AG Loni finance. To buy pe she one investigation period, boya won investigate, won ṣe gbogbo lè sọ pé kíní, but AG ló ní agbára ńsìn. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti kọjá investigation. In fact, tẹ́ bá mú lọ sọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́pàá gan will still need to speak to the AG. Change bá dẹ̀ rí pé whatever evidence they brought forward to him is tangible enough, they can discontinue the case or make variation to it. But tí IG bá gbé lọ sọ́dọ̀ AG, change bá dẹ̀ rí pé this is not tangible enough, whatever charges, whatever thing will still stand. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti sú mi o. Jọ́sí tí mo ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti sú mi. Ó lè jẹ́ pé àfọ̀ṣẹ ni màmá lò fún yín sí tí màmá wọ̀nyí lè pè. Àbí kí máa ta yín lọ́fà because is draining. Teaching these people
Ọfà
these people every day ó ti sú mi, honestly ọ̀gá mi ó ti sú mi o, mi mọ mo ṣe dé ìgbà mo tọ́ láàárọ̀ yìí, and that is why ó ti sú mi, and that's why a whole san shitu that knows the law front and back, he had to apply to the office of the AG. Kò lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ IG kankan, no, he went directly to the AG, and which is the right step. What he can ask for is for a fiat, not for another of mandamus, because what all should be done on this case has been properly done. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín ẹ wo ó wà draining, I don't know, and that's why mo sọ pé mi lè ṣe teacher.
Miss Bene, Mr. Python,
I can't be a teacher because I get frustrated when you're trying to educate on your boy. It's draining. Ọ̀gá mi ṣe máa sọ̀rọ̀ pa defamation yẹn àbí ṣàṣẹ tán lórí ilé.
Eléyìí ò fẹ́ wà lẹ́nu.
They are not teachable ni. They are not teachable. That's the problem. They are not teachable.
Ṣé mo lè dá yín padà sẹ́yìn díẹ̀?
Tíwẹ́rẹ̀ ló ń ṣe yẹn.
Okay, ẹ sáré dá wa padà.
I've been listening since I've just been like chilling, listening. In the case of this immunizer nuisance, after everything, I saw a video he did using that movie, pé òun máa pa ìyá òun tó bá ti tó time. And with everything that is going on, with the way he has behaved, with the way he thinks that there are no evidence against his bad behavior, it brings me to the point of I'm actually very worried about the state of education in Nigeria. Or is there something that the society is not doing, from parents to teachers to the society at large? Is there something missing? Because if someone puts out a video and making direct attack on an individual, and he comes back and say, oh, they didn't arrest me because of the video I did, they arrested me because of the things I said. And I'm like, do you actually have any form of education at all, or do you have any form of assimilation of whatever they've taught you in school? And what is his lawyer saying? And with the way Josie and his lawyers have behaved, now I have no faith in Nigerian lawyers. But it's something, I know we're just honestly, I don't know. And we are talking about a case, this case. The truth is there really a case to start with? Because if Yomi is saying and the rest of them are saying there is a case, and the law of the land is saying, well, it doesn't look at it that way. If Maxwell, who is supposed to be a senior lawyer, is now bringing order of mandamus, are we saying that he has actually not done his homework? As in, he has no knowledge of this case. He has no basis of nothing. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm actually agreeing with what has been going on in the last few days about the Olodo uprising. And the fact that some people are saying it's better for you to have money than to have education. It brings us just this state of disrepute, this state of rottenness that has actually eaten deep into our society. And in all honesty, I pray and I hope that this case really goes to court. I want this immunizer nuisance to actually see what it means to be having a court case. And another thing, is it that parents have, because growing up, my father will tell you things about the law, things you shouldn't do, about not getting involved in criminal. Even before ever going into the society, there are things that my own father has taught us as his children about not getting involved in any criminal acts or any criminalities and all those things. So at least you have the basis of, okay, these are the do's, these are the don'ts. How did these people fail their children to the extent of these people wanting to have criminal records on something that got nothing to do with them at all? Kì í ṣe pé o lọ gbébọn náà fi arrest ẹni fi ní criminal case. It is being a meddlesome interloper gets you into this so much trouble. You not knowing the difference between a criminal defamation and a civil defamation, and you thinking you are being half smart doing all this madness. Joe, Mr. Fighter, can you just, I want to know, because there are a lot of us here are parents, both in Nigeria and diaspora. How did the society get to this point? Is it that parents are actually not having these conversations with their children? Because, um, let me start from there. I'm sorry I'm taking you back, but because we are having all this fun talk. Shall I go, Mr. Fighter?
Yeah, mo gbọ́ yín Mayor. Yeah, it's not just the parents, really. For me, from where I stand from, it's the society as a whole. It's the little things we accept here and there. It's the little things we allow to slide here and there. It's àwọn kò tó pọ́n, kò lè tó yẹn, it's no biggie, it shouldn't be that deep. Those kind of things we accept here and there. Òun ló máa turn up, tó máa sum up to become all these behaviors, all this attitude, all these criminal dispositions we're seeing in all these people. Because they would have done one or little thing. People don't just turn out to be a big nuisance, so to say. They start little by little. Kọ́ bully èèyàn ládùúgbò wọn léni. Yes, ọmọ mi sharp. Yes, that's how to go about it. Claim nǹkan tí ò ń ṣe títí wọn lọ́la. That's where it starts. And I can tell you, if you go back, take any of these people as a case study here now. Ẹ lọ trace your upbringing wọn, ẹ lọ trace your environment wọn, ẹ lọ trace history wọn. You will see all these things present there. You will see that, yes, apart from the parents, whether the mother or the father, depending, irú immunizer tó bá ní ìyá tó bá ní bàbá, I don't know. Whether they're the ones who have just completely abandoned their responsibilities. Yes, I know we want to put it solely on them because, yes, they should be solely responsible for upbringing of our money. But the society no need major role nínú ẹ̀. And because we are people that want to conform, we are animal of conformity, we want to try and cut down ẹgbẹ́ mi bá ń ṣe, I don't want to be the odd person out. And nǹkan tó ń fa most of these things nìyẹn. Because like you said rightly, how would you put yourself in trouble? How would you find yourself in jail? Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tí yóò kún ẹ lọ́wọ́ tí yóò kún ẹ lẹ́sẹ̀ torí o kò fẹ́ ganu sí. And I don't think that even applies to this immunizer, for example, here. Kò kò ganu sí. Ó wá make a daily living ni. But I believe there are easier ways, there are cleaner ways of making a living. There are more modest way of making an income. Tí ò lè ní any criminality lẹ́nu. But are they ready to put in the work? No. This one looks like the easiest. What is there now? Just take money, come out, call our names, post different things. Nobody knows your location. Even if they know your location, nobody will are there to defend you. That is all they need to tell them. And because all these things have started from a very tender age, gbogbo civility yìí, gbogbo, what's the word? I'm looking for the right word. Gbogbo decency yìí, ó ti ń sweep away láti kékeré little by little. So by the time they become adults, it's okay for them to throw themselves at crime. It's okay for them to bully people. It's okay for them to gaslight. It's okay for them to do all these things you see them doing. And at the end of the day, they turn around and say the system is working against them. And by the time the law catches up with them, they turn around and make up another story and they want to turn themselves to the victim in the case. So it's everybody, the parents, the environment, the community, and the individuals themselves too. Eventually, when you come into adulthood or when you mature eventually, you should be able to, because it's in our conscience. It's a favorite verse of the Bible for me. I think it's Jeremiah 33 something. That I will put my laws in their hearts. No man shall teach his neighbor, know the Lord. For they will know me from the least of them to the greatest of them. So even that conscience is still in all of us. That we know when we're doing what is wrong. Even without you knowing what the law is all about, without you knowing that there's a cyber bullying law somewhere, there's an act criminalizing something somewhere, you know when you do something your conscience tells you. I know we usually say our conscience wants ikuni. I don't know. I don't think it works that way. The conscience will still tell you. Yes, of course, Waniko shut up, go get out. So tó bá bíyàn yọ máa ń túra bí ni, but clearly wọn bí àwọn eléyìí and they are not even interested tó bóyá àwọn tí ẹ fẹ́ túnra àwọn bí in any form or shape. So mo rí nìyẹn bó ní mèyọ́ sá lọ. What's going on? What's dropping people from
Mo
the
wá ń bì
platform?
ọ̀nà mo ṣe fẹ́ rẹ̀ pé kí ló ń drop àwọn èèyàn wa ṣé network ni àbí kíní. Yeah, now back to Yomi Aladu, Oloshi Oniranu. That day that he was doing that trick, I was just like, wow. There is no words that can describe Yomi Fabi. He is the worst of the worst. He's the trenches. In fact, somebody dig in my ibi tó ń kó ìdọ̀tí sí pit latrine. Yomi is worse than the best that comes out from that. But you know, another thing with Yomi is the people that actually believes Yomi Fabi. And these are parents. Then we wonder why we have the likes of Immunizer. If the likes of Shalake and the rest of them are followers of Yomi, if the likes of the Prince and Latio Gufe, these people has born children. They have children living among the society. And then we wonder why we have the likes of Immunizer and Yomi and Papa Shit. Now, let's even assume in all of this, the police actually listen to this, their madness. And they're asking for re-investigation or re-looking or continue investigation. Are the police going to call them to come and follow them to come and do this investigation? Or when the police are doing this investigation, they are coming on TikTok to be showing us live how they are doing the investigation? Because I don't get it. Because I don't know if these people actually understand what they are saying. Because if you're saying something has not been done to our satisfaction, and let's say, okay, I'm going to redo it. It's not like you're making your bed or you're sweeping your house. That okay, only your mother, only for dada, or you're fucking. It's not like that. It's not as if you're going to know all the pros and cons of the police work or their investigation. So even if the court says, okay, go and redo all of these things, how are they going to come into conclusion that the police have actually done the right thing or they have actually done it to their own satisfaction? There's nothing to say it. It's just that their mind is set on one thing and one thing only, which is Omomi. Nothing else. And I think somebody wrote it, I think it was Timaga that was talking earlier on and it was talking about the police. And this is what I actually wrote in the comments yesterday. Was it yesterday or this morning? And I was actually having this conversation with a sister yesterday. I said, this is not an attack on the police, but honestly, Mr. Paisa, the police, the women's society failed among me. And that breaks my heart to pieces. There is no way on earth that people will have said they have not had a snippet of what has been going on in the last almost 3 years. A young lady, a 24-year-old lady has been pulled through all sorts by humans of all kinds, by adults of all kinds, by people that call themselves parents and grandparents. And we have society, we have NGOs, we have things that are supposed to speak up for them. And none has. It hurts me, it breaks my heart to pieces, it makes me feel helpless that the police in one has failed, the society at large has failed that young lady and her child. How do we allow this crime to continue against one person, against one individual, against a girl child, for the last almost 3 years. And they are not relenting. You know, when this all started, we were thinking, oh, in 3 months, in 6 months, one must stop, one must stop. When Corona finished, we were thinking, okay, now you've had it, one must stop. When autopsy was done, we were thinking this would at least give them an incline. But are they stopping? How much more damage are we expecting before the law of the land step in and say enough is enough? Is enough going to be enough? When this should not be contributing money to all these miscreants to harass and bully and intimidate a young lady. And they are not stopping anytime soon because this is what gives them their daily bread. How do adults, men, women, fathers, whatever they call themselves, keep contributing money to this fruitless cause? What happiness are these people deriving from this madness? What joy, what calm, what my fellow is giving these people that so much orgasm? They are not stopping. And we shall arcade the last few days. Where are the women organization? Where is the child rights organization? When is there going to be somebody speaking up and say, you know what, this has been going on? When is the NPF going to do something? I know I'm just going through it. We've had this talk many times, but I'm just saying it back again. If platforms are getting up daily, irú láti dìde láàárọ̀ ní Wunmi ló máa attack láti ní kó máa attack ọmọ Wunmi. The last 3 years àkèkí ló dà fún ẹ lára. Ìwọ ló ń gbẹ, ìwọ ló dàbí ẹja ṣáwá. Iṣẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi.
Yes, I'm going.
Hello?
Hello, we deal with you.
So that is that part. So okay. So that is that part for me. And so you're just well, they are one tí ti ṣe àwọn grandfather ẹ some years ago, bóyá àwọn náà ní kó máa dáwó fún ẹ, so you keep enjoying your madness, keep enjoying it. Your pàkúté máa mú kíní ẹ níjọ̀kan. Now and you know one thing about it, we haven't addressed the petition that has been written against Wunmi. Are you addressing that or is it for later?
Okay, all right.
We will address I fẹ́ address yẹn náà ni mo ń wò but
what I'm girlfriend
on the call now. No, I'm supposed to be on the call now.
Okay.
That rush here, kò dẹ́ ṣe kò tí mo fẹ́ rush.
No, I'm not rushing.
Sister Temi, are you there?
So it's
now you want to go on a call. It's now you want to go on a call.
Oh, yeah. Where is Sister Temi?
That is calling you. Who is that person that wants to take you away from me? Who is that person?
Oh. No, the call will take less than 30 minutes. Okay. Already.
No,
so you guys can just hold the fort, discuss and.
Person that wants to take you away from me. Answer me now.
Nobody can do that. Nobody. I belong to you.
I trust your judgment. In your government, I stand.
For people that are like, why is Yomi doing all this? This is what I'm going to say. Yomi is repeating things that he has done in the past. This was the same game he played with Ijesha, that he keep stringing them along just to make money. He knows that once this case leaves the High Court, they will proceed to the Court of Appeal. From the Court of Appeal, they will move to Supreme Court. He will continue to sell them dreams that will never come to pass. He knows. and they will continue to furnish his lifestyle in Canada. Because Yomi is a lazy bum, Yomi cannot work. And where he is, Yomi has no talent, he has no skill, he is lazy and proud and poor. So he will continue to use this case to furnish his own lifestyle in Canada. That is what he's doing. Plain and simple. Ó ti mọ̀ pé tẹ́ bá náwó ní high court, ẹ tún gbé lọ sí court of appeal. Mama believe pé no, we are not going to accept it, because I heard Papa Bingo saying that if we go court of high court, they no answer us, we'll go to court of appeal. If they don't answer us, you go to the Supreme Court. Then after Supreme Court, you take it to God. Yeah. Like one of my senior colleagues used to
But
say,
the thing
after
is,
Supreme
Bene,
Court is God. Hilary?
Bene,
With everything Baba Bingo is saying, he's not going to lift a finger.
Of course.
He's not moving from where he's.
Kò ní dá ṣíṣì. Kò ní dá
Ẹ má
ṣíṣì.
bínú, mo fẹ́ sáré wọ bìkan Mayor, mo fẹ́ agree pẹ̀lú àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan tí Mayor sọ while I was driving, and I have thought about that thing for so long. Tó yẹ pé ó máa ń pain mi gidi gan ni pé tó bá ní pé our system failed Omowumi, and téèyàn bá tún wò, it's because Omowumi's story was out there. Imagine the story was not out there. Imagine if people don't know Mohbad like that, or people just don't love him. See, even I want to on the side of Dojo, see, with all this, their noises and everything, I believe there is a purpose for it. Because if they have not done this, maybe we wouldn't have, think and say, báwo ni Nigeria wá ṣe wá rí báyìí. With what you have said, sis, you have said it correctly, more how perfect that is really. So they failed Omowumi, they failed Leah. Because these people, it's like the government did not stop them, and they did not try at all they did not try in any way, form of shape. In as much as we always believe that it's this same government we are going to go back to. They are the same one, but they know that they are the one that we are going to go. But at least do one thing. And in all this, even when I see Joseph Aloba people ranting, Yomi has his own people too, ranting and believing on lies. Believing on one day, they are going to take them to where there is nothing. Like now, the one and only report we had was when that police officer came out and read that preliminary report. And ever since then, nothing has been said. Even when they charged the nurse and spending to court. Not even, what is it called? Paper, or what is it called? Publish it in the paper. Nothing. At least, yes, I know Nigeria is big. I know there is a lot of things going on. But at the same time, this is a part of Nigeria that people are, day in, day out, they want to malign, they want to, make life miserable for someone and for a lady and her own child. And it's not something that is not heard of. It's everywhere. I don't think there is anybody, even as Nigeria is, that they'll say, share case Mohbad ain't go on. There are still some people on social media that still come there and type. Yes, we know that it's in social media, but these are the same people. Our same people who are doing social media, not only lojutiti. If they have taken this serious, I don't think that we will be where we are at now. But hey, Omani, God has a purpose for everything. That is the gray area. If there is a bigger thing, I don't know, but I think Nigeria, especially the police department, they should do better. Sister Mayon.
Thank you. Then when you say Yomi is going to take this case towards the Supreme Court and all that, my question is, what local standing does Yomi have in all this?
No, me, what I'm
Because
trying to say, what me I'm saying is that is the game is about to play.
yeah,
But
I
I'm
know
sure
that's
that
the game.
even his local standing will be squashed, even from the High Court. But he's just felt, okay, let me just try my luck. This thing Yomi has done it in the past before. Owó bàbá Ìjẹ̀ṣà òun ni Yomi fi kọ́lé tó kọ́ s'Abẹ́òkúta. Yomi ò níṣẹ́ kò lábọ̀. Ìgbà tó ń ṣe case bàbá Ìjẹ̀ṣà gan, I'm not sure he produce any movie that will give him that money, that kind of money to build that kind of bungalow. Bó ti jẹ́ pé bungalow ni Yomi ò ní any movie tó máa fún lówó bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. That's what Yomi does. Mo ń bèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ sọ pé Yomi ò fi Mohbad pawó. Excuse me, tell me iṣẹ́ tí Yomi ṣe for the past 2 years. You people should come and tell me, Bene. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ followers Yomi, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ ẹrú Yomi. Come and tell me, Bene. Iṣẹ́ tí Yomi ṣe for the last 2 years. Ẹ wá sọ fún mi, àbí okay, tẹ́ bá lè sọ iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe. Ẹ wá sọ fún mi, project wo ni Yomi ti gbé sílẹ̀ in the past 2 years tó ń pa owó fún, if not justice for Mohbad. Justice for Mohbad is Yomi's cash cow. If you want to challenge me, come and show me iṣẹ́ tí Yomi ṣe. Olórí burúkú Mumusco tó wá máa jáde sí, ó máa ní pé kíní kan tó lórí burúkú ẹ̀ tó wá máa jáde sí Mumusco, ó máa sọ pé Yomi ń ṣe iṣẹ́ MC. MC fún ta ni? Is it in the league of Gbenga Adeyinka or is it in the league of TA? Fọ́wọ́n kú ọ̀run àbí? Fún MC fọ́wọ́n ta ni? Èló ló ń sọ fún MC?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni jọ torí MC báwo.
Ìgbà tó sọ nìyẹn tó tí Mumusco sọ nìyẹn. Mumusco ní pé ṣé ọmọ yẹn tí wọ́n sọ fún MC ní Canada ni tó ń sọ fún MC nílùú òyìnbó ni. Pé ibi tí Yomi ti ń lówó tó fi jẹun nìyẹn.
Ta ló wá ti ṣe MC fún ní Canada
kò yé mi o bí òun ló máa ṣe MC bẹ́ẹ̀ de sátẹ́mi o kò yé mi o àbí bóyá ó tún ṣe MC fún òun mọ̀.
Ká má má rí ni Paul wí.
Àbí.
That British. You know, in this whole
Good afternoon, everybody, Jerry.
Good afternoon, that British Jerry. Good to have you guys.
Yeah, I greet all of you specially.
You're welcome, specially. You know, the saddest thing in this case, or I don't know if it's sad or if it is, if you're supposed to feel sorry or if it's just disappointment, is the men that support Yomi. I don't know the right words to use for them. Something is inherently wrong with this type of men that actually see Yomi as a messiah. I have no words. And what makes it icks me more is the fact that we came from a society that says the men are the head, the men naturally are leaders, God has made men to be this. Then when you look at this set of men, you ask yourself, what can this be? They can't lead a sheep. They cannot be shepherd. Wọ́n ò lè sin àgùntàn kan kí àgùntàn yẹn má sọnù. How do they lead their home and things like that? It worries me to like, wow. As in, you see men actually licking the ass of Yomi. Actually, that drops from the mouth of Papa.
He still boils down to patriarchy, Sister Mayor. I'm telling you. No matter how educated somebody is, when it comes to patriarchy,
it's peak, patriarchy at its peak.
At its peak. There's no how even you will see a professor. When it comes to patriarchy, he will just lose all his sense of reasoning. There's no amount of education. If you don't re-educate yourself and take yourself out of the teaching of patriarchy, you will just sound as like a fool when you open your mouth. Especially when it comes to matter that affect women as a whole. When it comes to widowhood, when it comes to widow maltreatment, when it comes to looking down on the women folks, your book, your education, your master's degree will just be out of the window, honestly.
Ẹ káàsán everybody. Ẹ káàsán.
Ẹ káàsán.
And do you also know that in the fight against patriarchy, you will actually fight more women
Of
than
course,
men?
women are the enablers now.
So sometimes when you think that the person handling your case is a woman, she should understand that woman is
No, no,
going
no, no,
to
no, you are
be the
wrong.
one to
She won't
actually
understand.
work against you. Everything that is happening with Wunmi, patriarchy has been at play from the
Those
first
are the
day.
yeah.
Let's
Those
handle
are
it
the
the
patient
cultural way.
princess.
Yes, bàbá ọkọ ẹ̀ ni. Let's handle it the cultural way. Nǹkan tí bàbá ọ̀gá àgbàlagbà bá sọ tágbàlagbà bá ṣe ọmọdé. It has always been a man's world.
Of
See,
course.
everything that they've been doing, they've been playing mind games with her. They've been trivializing everything that is happening to her. When you talk to some set of people, they will tell you, òun kọ́ ni first widow tó máa kọ́kọ́
Tọ́mọ
victimize.
ọkọ ṣe báyìí. In
Òun
fact,
kọ́
èèyàn
ni
kan sọ
first
báyìí
widow.
lọ́dọ̀
That's what
ọmọ
they
tí
will
èèyàn kan
tell
sọ báyìí
you.
lọ́dọ̀
Yes.
ọjọ́ kan wọ́n ṣe show ní ṣọ́dọ̀ kan fi ni one lady open her mouth and said, okay,
Yes.
tó bá ń pé bàbá náà defame ẹ̀ ní ṣe bí bàbá ọkọ ẹ̀ ni.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. They will
Ṣèwé
say,
ṣó yẹ kó
that's
gbé
what
lọ
I'm
sí court.
telling you.
Ṣó yẹ kó gbé
Exactly.
lọ sí court and I'm like, ṣó mad ni?
So nǹkan
Ìyá
tó ń
aṣẹ́
ṣe
tẹ́rìn
fún
lọ ni.
nǹkan tó ń play pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ up till now ni because let me tell you one thing, everything tó ti ń drag láti jọ the court system is slow. We know the court system is slow. The court system is slow because nobody really cares about the mental health of this girl. Nobody cares about the fact that she's being victimized and abused every day. Let me tell you something. Everybody that is in charge of Wumi's case, if you really sit down with them and ask them what they think morally, forget their professionalism, they will
Professional,
tell you she's
exactly.
not the first. They will tell you she's not the first. So gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, let me tell you, don't tell me that they are not seeing our cry, they are not seeing our tags, they are not seeing our letters. But they will tell you that bàbá ọkọ ẹ̀ ṣì ni.
Bàbá ọkọ ẹ̀ ṣì ni.
Àwọn family ọkọ ẹ̀ ni. Ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ọmọ kékeré ò gbọdọ̀ ṣe gbá. Nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, that is what they are using against. I'm telling
Of
you.
course,
And
yeah.
that what upsets me most is when these people say, tó bá jẹ́ láàbúrọ̀dù mi, tó bá jẹ́ láàbúrọ̀dù mi, all of you in Josie's team will be in jail. All of you, pátápátá.
Wọ́n tẹ̀ ní gbójú jáde.
Ni go this far. Ni go this far. You will not, yes, Mama, you will not go this far.
Thank you so much. In fact, I was just waiting to get home because when Mayor started talking, that's the angle I wanted us to address. And it's good that, okay, yeah, Escapade 2 is here. At least we have a man in our midst. You see, that statement they used to make, that if it were to be abroad, I know earlier in 2024, I think I talked about it holistically. Like, if this incident had happened abroad, maybe we can play out the scenario right here now that we have the full panel. Like, if this scenario, this whole incident had happened abroad, who are the agencies that will step in? How would the whole matter have gone? Because unfortunately, I don't know what part of abroad some of these people are, and I don't know how they access the abroad they claim to be. Yeah, Ejeka, let's remove the fact that there wouldn't have been an auxiliary nurse coming to treat Mohbad at home.
Yeah.
And the incident wouldn't even have happened. But let's try to be blindsided to that aspect and say, okay, kase ni pe o play out be ipe nurse was treated. From there, ó trigger reaction lóòótọ́. In fact, bóyá ká mú láti bí pé Mo passed on. What would happen from that point? Because they keep saying, oh, tó bá jẹ́ abroad ni Wunmi would have been in jail, it would have been in cell. Mo dẹ̀ máa wò wọ́n pé ṣé meye agencies tó máa ti step in to ensure that this young widow is not traumatized.
That British, let me give you a very serious case that happened to somebody here in the United States. Tajo Jore. Ọkọ ó sick, ṣó ti yé yín, for a while, ó ti kọ́kọ́ beat cancer. So ìgbà tó beat ó ti ti ring bell, ó ti ṣe everything. So after some years, bọ̀bọ́ yẹn discover pé òun tún ti ní. But because of the emotional stress tó put ìyàwó through the first time and the whole family, he decided to go holistic. He didn't tell anybody about it. He didn't even tell the wife. The wife didn't know. So later it was what is Beresni deteriorate, go to the point that he couldn't really eat and everything. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ wá ní kí ló ń ṣe ẹ́? Mo rí bó ṣe ń ṣe pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Ìyàwó ẹ̀ ní àwọn ti ná over 15 million naira lórí àgbo lórí gbogbo ẹ̀ láti ilé. Ó lóun ṣá discover pé bọ̀bọ́ yìí wasn't getting, there's something wrong. Àbó ti lọ sí hospital ni, àbó ti sọ nǹkan kan fún ẹ. He didn't tell the wife because of the emotional pressure and everything. When this guy eventually died, right? The first thing the system did was wọ́n kọ́kọ́ get therapist for the wife. They made sure that they found somebody that would be going to protect the wife because they knew the mental stress that she was going through. The kids and the woman, they asked them if they needed help because one more stressed is sudden passing and the fact that the man did not tell her about it. One more stressed to put her through. In a same country, a country that works, where the system works, they would protect the child and the wife of that man. When you guys continue to come online to say that this cannot happen abroad, it makes me question what side of abroad are you guys talking about? Say abroad of Ekiti, abi abroad of Iseyin. Because it cannot be the Western world where they know that people like you should not exist. People like you who see women as lesser vessels, who don't see women as human beings, because I'm going to always say this. A lot of you have externalized your pain and struggle to the point that you think that everybody you come across is a bad person. Now, this lady lost her, we keep saying all of this. This lady lost her husband. Her husband, Tonjo Wanule, he wasn't sick, he wasn't bedridden, it wasn't as if they had given him weeks or months or years or days to live. His death was sudden. It wasn't something anybody planned. So by putting nurse one pain or whatever, one illness or whatever for a very long time, and they had already told them it's a 50-50 chance he might not survive it. Oti mama prepare mind there. Oti mama reach therapist. Oti mama work with a lot of people to help her be able to process the pain, right? But this was a sudden death. It wasn't something anybody envisaged. It happened to her. As soon as it happened, whatever thing Toba she at that point and afterwards, she is not in control of her mental state. I have seen you people come out to say she has not been consistent, come out to say she said this, she did this, she posted this and that. I do not know where you expect somebody who became a widow all of a sudden, like it was so sudden, to be able to process their grief to the point that they will now come online, set camera and start saying, bye bye la ṣe rìn, nǹkan bye ló ṣẹlẹ̀. Like in a working system, tẹ́ ẹ máa ń sọ yẹn ló máa ń bí mi nínú. Where in the working system has such a thing ever happened? Where have you ever seen a situation where a woman would lost her husband all of a sudden? And then she will come on social media to come and be telling people, strangers, numbskulls, people she does not know, pé bye ni o, bó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ leléyìí o. Do you guys expect so much from this girl?
Mama sọ time and date fún wọn. Exactly,
Yes,
time
as
tó
if-
jí,
exactly.
time tí nọ́ọ̀sì wọlé, time tí nọ́ọ̀sì kúrò lé, time tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń gbóná, tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń bì.
How do you guys even expect so much from somebody who became a widow all of a sudden?
But they can make an excuse for Joseph Aloba for seeing pool of blood and his memory froze.
Even somebody that enter up pààyàn gan tó jẹ́ premeditated tó bá sì bí láwọn nǹkan kan gan ó sì lè máa wò pé kílẹ̀ ń bí mi yìí ká tó wá sọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ all of a sudden tó kàn ṣẹlẹ̀ fast bẹ́yẹn. But you guys want her to put time, you want her to put date, you want her to put specifics to it. And you guys have not sat down for 1 minute to think that, is this actually a sane thing? I'm not going to say fair thing, because it is only an insane person that will sit down and be expecting a widowed woman. So like, Sherry, for a very long time, I tried to okay, let me just calm down. But nothing seems to make sense. Nothing. And I'm going to continue to
should I tell you the reason why
patriarchy.
these people, they're having a problem? Should I tell you?
Yes,
It's
Mama.
control.
Yes, Mama.
Control.
Ben.
Control, control, control. Control in the
Ben.
sense that they felt that she should be at their mercy. They should be the one to direct her how to grieve, what to grieve on, and what not to grieve on. It is all about control to these people. They wanted to be the one calling the shots in her life, when to speak and when not to speak. It's all control, honestly. Oh, kò sọ̀rọ̀. Ọ̀wọ́n bèrè pé kí ló pa ọkọ ẹ̀, kò wá ṣàlàyé fún wọn, ó yẹ kó ṣàlàyé fún wọn, like, how dare Ọmọ́wùnmí? When we were calling on you as the Alpha and Omega, how dare you say you don't owe us anything? Is control and control. And it still boils down to the misogynistic people that we have in Nigeria. Because where in the world does somebody not telling you what happened to her husband make her guilty of it? Who are you to be the judge and the jury and the executioner? Who appointed you? So because she has refused to say what you want to hear, automatically you need to vilify her, you need to nail her to the cross. It's all about control to me, honestly. It's all about control.
Other than control, Bene, I still want to believe that this is a carefully orchestrated plan. And why do I say it all the time? And you know, I have a strong feeling that it is what it is. Okay. And why I said that is, look at when Omowunmi came out with that her expression, because those posts were nothing but expression of her grief. It wasn't a statement of what has happened. It was an expression of her grief. You know, it's a chronicle of what they've been through in the recent past, you know, and just the shock of it all was what made her express herself. But all that expression was a pointer towards a particular person, organization, the record label, right? NM. And we could see that during that period, the anger, there was a eruption of anger in the people, in the public, because it seems like all of a sudden everybody was now seeing what that young man went through while he was alive. So color me shock how they try to just change the narrative on her. You know, it's like, how dare you come out to accuse us, especially when they try to like speak to her that, okay, don't worry, we'll take care of your child and all those things, and she didn't budge. So the next thing will be, okay, let us orchestrate something. Make sure that the spotlight turns back on her. Turn it all on her. And that's how they started. What did they started with first? That conversation she had with Mo before Mo passed. To back by me, my family me. You would see that it was an orchestrated plan. It was a target. Like, let's put it all back on her. Let's put it all back on her. She okay, ìwọ ló lẹ́nu tó fẹ́ wá máa accuse wa àbí? Okay, wàá rí nǹkan tá máa ṣe fún ẹ. And that was where it started from. So in the process, they started bringing other people into it. People who think they have a score to settle with Omowunmi. Starting first from the greedy celebrity mourner. They brought him into it. Before you know, till tomorrow, I still keep saying it. If there was no division in the camp of Mohbad's friend, you know, that a post went viral today that today makes it 3 years that Beast and Peace was released. And I listened to the song where he mentioned all his friends So imagine if all those people had a common front, they had a solid ground, not because they want to cover up anything, but because they want to stand on the truth. And they didn't let them divide them. How did they divide them? Oh, Omawumi Pharaoh Pe, yeah, she said it was you. And they were able to create that division because in their own perverse mind, they thought that when they knew nothing happened, but if they create a division, yes, they would use a set of her husband's friends against her. Did they succeed? Yes, they did. But the only thing they couldn't do was manufacture evidence for what didn't happen. So yes, control, but control based on the fact that they planned, they wanted her to fall for it. And that's why you will hear some people say that, oh, even, I don't know if you can still remember Bene, a time, Moshini Paparico, saying it point and clear that the only thing that will satisfy him, if they can even find one thing to rope Omawumi in so that she can go to jail. Not because she did anything.
And the British, I've had this same Papa Bingo said it on countless times that the justifying why they bullied Omawumi is because she refused to speak to them.
Yes, you get. So you now have different camps that came together.
But because I want to buttress a little thing that you said before you go further, I'm so sorry, ma. I want you guys to also understand one thing. Some of these Mohbad's friends, especially the ones that they were able to convince to the other side, they had issues with Omawumi before Mohbad's death. Some of them felt that Omawumi was the one that was not allowing Mohbad láti bá wọn rin àwọn ìrìn àrè kan bóyá kán lọ máa ṣe àwọn yánmayànmá kan. So they were able to convince them because àwọn gan fúnra ara wọn gan inú tí wọ́n gan ò mọ̀ dáadáa tán tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀. You will see that the ones tó jẹ́ pé kò ráyè òṣì nínú wọn, they are still standing on the truth pé sẹ́ ọmọ yóò ṣe nǹkan kan. Mohbad was good to us. And that is to tell you that you inú ẹ ló mọ̀, mọ́nú anybody. Mohbad was the good friend who put everybody around, who made sure everybody around him was Gucci. But he did not even know that some of these people, they were either jealous of him or upset at the fact that he had a wife who was solidly behind him and was the protector. Omowumi was Mohbad's major protector. Omowumi tó lè fojú rọ̀bọ̀n. A lot of his friends, àwọn tó ti wà on the other side, wọn ò lè ṣerú ẹ̀. So wọ́n máa ríru Omowumi as ìwọ ló ń fàyà rọ̀bọ̀n, ìwọ ló fẹ́ máa protect Mohbad tó fi pé bóyá ìwọ ló strong ló dájú gbogbo àwọn lọ. So ló ṣe easy fún wọn
ṣé
láti
mo pé Harris gan sọ pé ó lọ fara rọ̀bọ̀ yẹn pé ó sọ pé ọmọ ọ̀tá ni Omowumi kó máa mú gbó. To tell you how sick people are. The British. To tell you how sick people can be. That's why I said there is no winning with these people. And that's like people trying to see that these people to reason with you is waste of time. Their mind is made up. And that's why mo bá pàdé wọn lórí platform kan, mo máa ń kanra mọ́ wọn ni.
I can't know the conversation.
I'm not here for dialogue. Don't dialogue with me. No, I don't want to hear. Because it's now obvious that they know what they are doing and they are just being intentionally wicked. Let's make peace or let's be mature. I'm not mature, please.
I'm here. Hey, Mayor. Mo fẹ́ ká gbé conversation yẹn padà. Let's start from the medical aspect, like the healthcare aspect. Playing the scenario of the incident here, at least in the UK, Jowa. And good enough. I think majority of us that will be UK ni Toku. Hello there. So, I mean, let's start from ipe okay kati ẹ ní lóòótọ́ wọ́n wá treat ẹ nílé irú incident yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀. What would take place from that point onward?
Okay, let me use
I
an
know it's
example
difficult
of
to. I
this
know it's
actually happened.
okay.
We okay, this actually happened. People will go look after in their homes, and it depends on the categories of what they fall under because the hospital do not actually when people can do some things or when that's why you have carers and stuffs and community nurses have district nurses, all those things. And because someone like me, I work in critical care, I do look after patients in their home, which comes under complex care. So I don't do your normal community care or your normal district nursing care. I look after patients that need airway support. Airway support means they cannot breathe by themselves, but they are not candidates for staying in the hospital because obviously it's expensive to live in the hospital. Hospital is not the best place to live in. You only come to the hospital, maybe you need some form of other intervention, but in the UK, there are after in that from doing dialysis to giving IV antibiotics to doing all these things. Yes, it's a thing here in the UK, but there are people that have been specially trained to do these things. And let's now say for hypothetically, let's say a patient in the community stopped breathing or they reacted to something. The first thing you do is you call 999. And that is it. You call 999. There are services that are in place for these things. You call 999, and the first thing 999 will ask you is, are you the person, or you're calling on behalf of the person? Then the next question is the person breathing? That is your airway. That is the main number one thing. Is the person breathing? Now they can go, is then they put you through all things that you can do to intervene in cases like that. And it depends on what you're calling for. Of mobile, it is an anaphylactic reaction. If the in the UK they have to send an air ambulance in this, they will send it. And I don't know if you're aware of it. Now they are trying to enhance the law that there should be a defibrillator within a certain walking distance to where I'm lucky my GP is just literally like 10 minutes walk. So there are locations around me that will have defibrillators, and some of the things that are included in these things are the epinephrine and all those things. And there are ambulances that are around each location. So each area has ambulances that can quickly blue light. Blue light means sounding that siren and come to your aid. So the chances of this happening is minute, but let's say it happens, there are things that are in place. So now let's say this person end up dying because you don't know what to do, but you've called the ambulance, they came late, the police will come as well. So as the ambulance is coming, and if it is an unexpected flight, we have some that are expected. Like if you're looking after somebody who is end of life and you've known that they will go. So it's a different route. Now, this is a young man, no past medical history, no health issue. He reacted to something. By the time ambulance came, OT law, everybody hands off. The ambulance will call the police, right? So it's still the police that will still like, okay, do a write-up and do whatever. So they are not going to arrest anyone until there is an investigation. Am I giving what I'm supposed to give? And now part of the investigation is an inquest. Inquest means because this is an unexpected crime that has happened, he will be taken to the nearest morgue. A medical examiner will come in and check. They will do the autopsy, which is the physical thing. Autopsy, because these people keep confusing the autopsy with the toxicology. They don't know the difference. The autopsy is the physical things that you can see from the head to the toe, what you can see physically. Then they cut open, they check all the organs to ensure it is what it should be, which was done in this case. Yes, they're going to take blood for the toxicology and check the stomach contents and all those things. So if it has happened in this case, these are the process that they will go about. And within weeks, and if the family are not happy, they felt the nurse has not done what she's supposed to do, then will be invited. Bear in mind that at that point, the police have already taken statements. Then they can, during inquests, like they've rightly done in this case, yes, it dragged, but in this case, the nurse has been called, she said what she has done. So if by then they felt she's liable or she's culpable of an offense that has been done, then she can now face whatever. So everything they've been saying is just not um is the chances are really, really limited. And if, let's say now, let's now say it is the fault of the nurse in this case, then there will be a review of how should we have prevented this. And now it has happened. What can we put in place to prevent this from happening? And this is we now lead to learning from experience, which obviously have been lost in all of this. Um, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Every time I try to play out that scenario in my head, it's really difficult to see how same thing would have played out here. Not just here, anywhere in the West. But then let's move on to welfare now. Welfare of the immediate family. Because when such thing happens in the West, abroad, overseas, abroad táwa wà tó sane, kò ń ṣe ibi tí àwọn insane persons wà tó máa ní it could never have happened abroad. What would have been the welfare package for his family? Who would be prioritized? What would be the welfare package available to them? Would they be arrested? Would the wife be a suspect? I wish that even soft baby could come up.
So in this case, the wife would definitely not be arrested. It makes no sense at all. And there will be bereavement services that are available, both in the community and in the local community, and there are always support groups. So definitely there will be a bereavement counselor or someone that will speak and will be there to support. Even from the police that has come first, they will contact the police department has bereavement services, they have social workers, and the community has as well, and the hospital has as well. So there are a lot of services that will be available for the young widow and her child, saying that at that point she had a 5 month old baby. She too, there is a postpartum, she's still within that postpartum period,
Can I
and
say
there'll be
something?
eyes that will be kept on her. In fact, yeah, in fact, there'll be
Neighbor. Oh, okay.
if it's okay, Mabino. In fact, if it's possible, they will ask her if there's somebody who can stay with her at that moment. If she doesn't have a close family or friend that can be with her at that moment, there will be someone they can get from that will be on call that can come over to stay with this person. Let me give an example. I was looking after a young child, well, a child which was end of life. So the plan was to pass on, but it takes longer than was expected and all this. So I managed, they were thinking in 2 weeks, Omoyemalo. But you know what? I look after this child for about 2 years. So if I told the agency I work with, message me. They didn't tell me anything that it was about how they just said to call them immediately. I get the call. And I called them and they actually offered me. I'm not the parents, I'm not the family because I have looked after. They offered me bereavement service. Why? Because I've had a close relationship to some extent with
Attachments
this
to the
person.
ground.
Yeah. Ṣé Mr. Paita fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ni wọ́n ní Mr. Paita you're back. Do you want to?
Carry on. First, I want to make a point, then I'm going to drop so that Mr. Paita can finish his show. Emma Binu. So, thank you very much, Sister Mayo. I was going to say something. My neighbor that's Oku sometime 2 years ago. One thing, someone working
The one that you say you used to help the children.
Yes, thank you. Even
I
at the
think I
kids'
remember your
school, they
story.
make sure they informed the counselor. You understand? After getting outside therapies for children, they got for the father because obìnrin ló kú, they got for the father, they got for the children, and they even informed the teacher at the school so that one man more mama take care and one more and everything. They made sure that they protected those children and the immediate family of the person. Who are the immediate family? Husband or wife of the deceased. Pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀. Those are the major people tí wọ́n máa kọ́kọ́ protect emotionally. They would make sure that they have people around them who will surround them with love. Even àwa tá a jẹ́ ará àdúgbò, we went to the house to make sure pé ṣé anything what on need. We went to drop flowers. We were always checking on them and everything. Those children, they became like a part of my family and everything. So sometimes when you guys say, if it happened abroad, I still don't understand what you mean by it happened abroad. If it happened abroad, Wunmi would be protected from people like you. People like you would not even be able to do all of the things that you've been doing to her. And this is where I want to pause for now. Okay, my bad, stop, Mr. Paita. Thanks for your time, everybody.
Thank you, Motsi, for the contribution. You know, Paita, are you ready to go, or can we still go a little more?
A little more into what? Into where?
Ẹ jẹ́ kí Paita jẹ́ kó parí, èmi náà fẹ́ bọ́lẹ̀. That is Paita I was waiting for. Me, I want to go and do something. I don't know.
That's why I'm asking him. Does he want to go further, or can we still?
No, Tewani further. I
want to go further. I want to go further. If she's asking me myself.
I go further then.
Go further.
Go further.
Yeah, me she to fira yin sílẹ̀ kí n go further àbí báwo lẹ sọ.
No, British ló ní.
Do you have the strength to go further?
Ẹni tó sọ fún wọn go further.
British oya kẹ́ answer question your.
Mo ti lọ renew strength.
You have the strength
I can go further.
Okay.
Ẹjọ́ máa mọ́ra yín.
Ọmọládé lèmi ní kí n further.
I know that further. I know further maths was your favorite topic in school.
Exactly. Gbogbo àwọn permutation yẹn.
Ẹjọ́ máa kọ́mọlùbọ́. Ó ṣe dá nìyẹn. Ẹ kọ́mọlùbọ́.
Okay, because I thought that we were beginning to penetrate the minds of people with this discourse. But since you are here, you can take over the penetration.
Oh yeah, it's all me that British. I took some penetration.
Let me take over the penetration.
Let me keep quiet.
Okay. Ẹ jẹ́ ká filẹ̀ fún.
Ẹ filẹ̀ fẹ́ni tó sàbí.
Let the road for who sabi. Ude. Oh yeah.
Ṣé Chubby mi sọ pé kí n go further náà ni ó dà pé mo gbọ́ tán sọ̀rọ̀.
Chubby mi no mind.
No, mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé
máa yẹ jẹ́jẹ́ ká padà sórí topic àwa kan fẹ́ sùn náà kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ èwo ni further.
pariwo ibi tí mo wà yìí so sista tẹ́mi wá ní FEC ẹ̀ yín wá ní ṣé kí n yọ abẹ́ sọ àbí inú àlá mi lẹ ti jọ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tó ní.
Sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ bóyá ẹ̀ lálàá ni. Wọ́n sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ wo ni FEC kan yọ.
Bóyá ẹ̀ lálàá ni.
Fearless tún ti ń gbé wa lọ síbi tá a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ o.
Fearless lálàá ni. Paita ò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Àbọ̀ fẹ́ kó fọdà lọ́sọ̀.
Àbí kọ́ yọ kúrò. Mo gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń bọ̀.
Chubby mi ẹ lọ sùn kò sí ibi tó ti máa bá mi sọ pé kí n yọ kúrò tó ti wà ń bẹ̀ kí n yọ for what kí lẹ̀ ń sọ yìí.
Wàhálà.
Ẹyọ tì lájà.
Ṣé lè bá mi sọ yẹn?
Báwo lèèyàn ṣe ń bọ́lẹ̀ lórí moving train?
Bene, come back here. Leave Escapade alone. He will come when he wants to come.
Wàhálà o lè lè báyìí torí Ọlọ́run ẹ máa gbà mí. Diabetes ẹ máa gbà mí. Kí ni gbogbo ilé?
And now, he's only trying to tell you that you can't make escapade come. Escapade will come when he's ready.
Whenever he wants, yeah.
Ẹ mọ̀ pé àjẹgbọ́dọ̀ ní àwọn ẹnukúra ní o. Àwọn ẹnukúra ní o.
Ẹ̀yin náà like ègbodò ẹ̀ríyàn fún yín jẹ ẹ̀dẹ̀ tí yín ọba yìí.
Put school ní àbí school ní ẹlẹ́fẹ́.
Ẹdúró ní sùúrù, am I missing something? Am I missing something?
Ẹ má jẹ́ kó fà yín sí orí òṣì yìí.
Am I missing something?
Mo máa já yín tán létà tó bí mi.
Ẹ já mi. Mo wà interested, mo fẹ́ mọ̀.
Nǹkan tó máa ń rẹ̀ yín sí náà nìyẹn.
Nǹkan ti ṣẹlẹ̀ gan lórí bíbá yìí o.
Sista Temi ló jáṣẹ́ yẹn. Sista Temi yìí. Sista Temi yìí on grab nǹkan gan.
Ṣé pé wọ́n jágọ̀ bàjẹ́?
Ẹ má jẹ́ kí Bẹ̀nẹ̀ break the chain of causation.
Ó yá, Mr. Pata, mo jẹ́rìí yẹn fún mi. Àásọ létà.
Bẹ̀nẹ̀, ayé èèyàn wa, to start with you, I need 300 million.
Thank you, my love. Thank you, my love. Ibi tí mo ti fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ gangan nìyẹn. Ibi tí mo ti fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ gangan nìyẹn.
Àpò yín àti pọ́sì sí.
A ní láti gbálé ká gbáta.